Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into pub coins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here. Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Pat Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nutflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Ken. Kenny Ken wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Ken, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97. Home. That is where comes Jason Meyer, the other auto custodian. Billy Friedrich. Joe's one all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the corporate Peter Loshak, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a dawn. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio is all. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this but they quit the trip. Though we say we be pubbing, better with the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Let's check.
Yo, what's up to everyone? My name is Peter Loshak. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Today is January 27th, Tuesday, January 27th. We do this every Tuesday. We're going to have a good time. I'm doing it at a different location right now. Everything should be okay, but I just want to make sure that my internet connection is good. The audio is good. Jose, you back there? I don't know if you are.
Yes, Pete. You sound lovely.
Yeah, everything's good? All right.
Yes,
good,
you
good.
sound lovely.
I'm fixing my audio and video, and also looking at Bahrain Premier League halftime lines here. So I'm multitasking, to put it mildly. But we're going to have a good show. We're going to talk college basketball, NBA, NHL with Gokster, and it's going to be very good. Let me see. I'm just getting everything all arranged here. I think we're going to start with basketball. And hold on, I got to get the sorry, I'm a little bit behind here, but we're going to have a good show. It's going to be fun as hell. Jose Bouquett, are you back there? Are you back there?
Yes, I'm actually finishing up your records right now.
Oh, I just need a little help because I'm arranging everything, clicking that, muting that. Shout out to the comment section, everyone. Here, hold on, I'm getting ads, everything. It's going to be a good show. We're just it's a little slow to start.
Well, how was your weekend, Pete? I should say, the last time we talked to you, you were in the Bahamas. Here, Pete. Where in the world?
Yeah, man.
Where are you now? How does the Bahamas go? Well, how was that? What was that like?
Things are always not what you think they're going to be. First of all, it was, crazy weather down there for most of the days, but then it was beautiful. And you forget how beautiful,
what's crazy weather like in the Bahamas? Raining?
What?
What's the crazy weather like? Raining?
Well, it was windy, like a hurricane for like 4 or 5 days. Then it got beautiful. And the ocean is no matter where you are, the ocean is friggin' beautiful. And of course, I told you about this. I ran into the biggest betting guy that I know worldwide. Huge guy. Ran smack into him in the middle of the street, just in the middle of the street in the Bahamas. And so I hung out with him for a bunch of days, and that was incredibly illuminating. Just so much stuff. I don't even know
what you learned. What's something you learned? What's something that you got out of the conversation?
According to him, there's just one guy. Like when you talk about the market in the NFL, according to him, it's one guy. It's one guy who's known on Twitter, of course, and X and everything. So much crazy stuff. I don't even know what I can say publicly, but it's just so fascinating. So fascinating.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe I'll tell you privately. Not secretive or crazy. It's just, you got to be careful what information you release publicly. You know what I mean? When people tell you stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Of course. So now are you back in the 5 boroughs, Pete?
Yeah, I'm back. It's all right.
Oh,
I'm back.
Well, you're cool. Snowed in then, huh?
Yeah. But and then one of his a guy who was there with him is an advantage slots player. You know what that is, Jose Bouquett?
I don't. Please illuminate me.
That actually is real. I've known, I've known about it. It's not like a secret, but it was interesting to meet a guy up close. Advantage slots, slots have progressive, payouts and stuff. And if certain slot machines hit certain points, they can become positive EV, and these people take advantage of it. Very interesting to talk to them about it.
Very interesting.
What else is it? I don't even know. Just so much interesting stuff. There's so much.
I'm gonna start telling my girlfriend who loves playing slots to call herself a positive EV slots player.
An advantage slot player.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. I think that my friend, I'll give you this little tidbit. It's not that he's made $1 million in sports betting in his career. He's been stiffed out of more than $1 million in his sports betting career, which of course, for big timers, you get stiffed all the time. You try to avoid it, but it was just interesting to run into it. It was just interesting.
Well, our guy Dan Kelly in the chat here, Pete, offering you a suggestion here. Check out this book that was published. Everybody Loses: The Tumultuous Rise of American Sports Gambling by Danny Funt. It's an indictment on the evil corporate monolith screwing us.
I think I will read that.
Everybody
sounds
loses.
Very interesting. But there is a tiny percentage of people who don't lose, at sports betting. They and in fact the evil corporate monoliths often are the places where they have their biggest edges until they get booted. But yeah, I will definitely love to read that. That'll definitely be a very interesting book. I want to know, who are the evil corporate people who flipped all these screen names into @ names. I didn't know old working man is Dan Kelly. How the fuck am I supposed to know that?
You gotta look at that picture.
So much. Hey, Ron Crawford. I know. Oh, yeah, that's right. There is Dan Kelly. There he is. All right. College basketball play of the day, Stephen F. Austin. I might blindly tail that. people who blindly tail Ron Crawford are also, losing? No, I don't think so. People who blindly tail Ron Crawford and only tailing Ron Crawford are up.
Well, Pete, I sent you the link to the book, so I can also have a
All right.
record of it as well. So I'm excited now.
Awesome. Yes, I'm definitely going to. Yes, but even winners are getting through. There are a few good interviews out there. But oh man, so great to see Dan Kelly. He might have even been in the comment section a million times. I just didn't know that's a huge shout out to Dan Kelly. What a fun, impressive guy to just hang out with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would love to see Dan Kelly at Pubapalooza.
What'd you say?
I would love to see Dan Kelly at Pubapalooza. Would love to see that, Danny.
I think he's a little bit above that at this point in his life, but you never know. If there's one thing I've learned in life, you really never know. What movie is that from? And then we'll get into a sport. What is that movie? Yeah, you never know. You really never know. Oh, it's from Let It Ride. From Let It Ride. That is a movie you got to see. Have you ever seen that one, Jose Bouquett?
I have not. I'll put it on the list.
That really is a great one. Shout out to AM, Dan Kelly, everyone in the comments section. I'm a little bit squeezed in here in the corner, so it's affecting my mentality. The feng shui very different from what I'm used to doing. You know what? Fuck these Bahrain Premier League halftime lines. The halves have already started. Fuck it. Wow. I'll just close this out and focus on what we're doing here right now. All right, we ready to get into it, Jose Bouquett?
Yeah. NBA's first. There are two guests here. They're both ready for, I think both are ready for us. One is ready at least here, and the other one will be ready here in a second, I'm sure. But yes,
right on.
Both are ready here.
And we're going to be. I'm going to be doing shows again with Jimmy the Bag pretty soon, right?
Yeah. I think in a week or two.
He's going to be able to host it all, do all the shout outs, do all the rundowns. Oh God, that's going to be so great. People are like, aren't you looking forward to capping NHL with him? Yes. But more so, I'm looking forward to just hanging out with him and having. He's so good at like dealing with people and talking to them and making them feel good about themselves. I'm not so great at that. So again, that says, was it Spanky? No. If I ran into Spanky, I would say hi, but he would probably be like, "I'm sorry, who are you?" I'd be like, "You've come to Bet Bash? Great, all right, great to no, this is a personal friend of mine. You know what I mean?"
Dude, I still cannot believe the fucking prices at Bet Bash. Oh my Lord.
Yeah. Well,
unbelievable those prices. Oh,
and if he could get away with charging more, I'm sure he would.
Yeah, fuck me. Jesus Christ. Hey, they separate the winners and the losers, I guess. But again, I'll plug it again. Pete. Pubapalooza, where you can hang out with Jimmy the Bag.
Absolutely for free.
Peter Loshak for free. Yeah, for free.
Although you do, of course, always have to pay for shelter and transportation. That is the natural tax of life.
Shelter and transportation, indeed. But let's bring on our next two guests here.
Absolutely.
They're both ready. The one, the only, Justin McKelvey and Kitten Billy Brisbane. Stacks. Gentlemen,
shout out to everyone. What a sight for sore eyes. Billy Brisbane, Justin McKelvey. We're going to talk NBA, and I'm going to tweet out this show while Justin McKelvey is telling us what he thinks about the first game, which is going to be Portland, Washington. You ready, Justin? Because here we go. Washington, a shitty team, but they're 3-1 ATS last 4. They are fighting. They're young. They don't care. They're not affected by losses. They're just happy to be there, fighting day in and day out. Portland on a back-to-back. Lost at Boston yesterday, right? A low-scoring game. They covered by the hook, and Portland has been, excellent ATS for a while now. But my thought is at this line, 7.5 is the first line I saw for Washington. It'd be Washington or nothing, and maybe the under because Washington, they fight. They're D'ing up, I think, and maybe Portland will too after their loss yesterday. So I was thinking Washington getting a bunch of points and the under. First total I saw was 232. Haven't checked where it's moved. What do you think, Justin?
I'm halfway with you. I kind of like the over. No, I don't kind of. I do like the over. I got the over.
Oh, you like the over? Okay.
Yeah, I got the over 232.5 minus 112. I played that this morning. I think with mainly the Trailblazers coming off of back-to-back, I expect tired legs in the second half. The Wizards at home, it seems like this is where they play their best ball and put a lot of numbers up. I don't want to lay this many points, even though the Trailblazers, ATS-wise, on the second leg of a back-to-back is all right, but I don't want to lay this big of a number to the Wizards. So I like the pace play with the Trailblazers. For some reason, they play faster on the second leg of the back-to-back according to the first leg. So I don't know why that is, but it's true. So I like it over 232.5. That's what I bet, minus 112.
As of right now, a tiny bump to the over market wide. I saw 232. I was thinking this one might close lower, but as of right now, you're right, 232.5. And the line is the spread now, of course, is down to 7 from 7.5. Billy Brisbane, I love these kinds of teams like Washington, right? They're young. They're just happy to be there, fighting game in and game out. And when they start to get undervalued, that can have extended value, for days and weeks. And that might be what we're going to see from Washington in February and March. What do you think?
This is a weird one, hard game to gauge. It should be a Wizards spot. They have the rest advantage starting a 5-game homestand. They look competitive in their last game versus the Hornets, a pure youth movement. They're playing Sarr, Trey, and Bub Carrington all 35-plus minutes, and those are kind of like the players that they're building their future around. There'll be some growing pains, but this team can definitely score. Portland dropped back-to-back games after looking like one of the hottest teams in the league. They'll be on a second night of a back-to-back, still on the road, but defensively, since Drew Holiday has came back, they've looked a lot better. Not a lot of value would lean towards Washington. I actually think this game goes under. I like the under 232.5. Portland team total under, specifically 120.5. And I would lean towards Washington plus the points. One player prop that I like in this game, it's actually an under, is Keyshawn George, under 2.5 3-pointers at minus 166. Portland allows the second most amount of 3-pointers, and he's gone under in 7 out of 7 games since Thanksgiving versus top 10 3-point defenses. But I think we're undervaluing Portland's defense a little bit. A team coming off of back-to-back losses are going to be locked in for this one against Washington, and that's the only thing that's really holding me back from back in Washington is Portland's coming off of back-to-back losses, and then you got a Washington Wizards team that's deliberately tanking. So I'm off of this one, but I honestly think the Keyshawn George under 2.5 threes is probably the best play in this game.
Okay, you think they are tanking? Because I think they're trying to fight and be competitive. I think the reason they're losing is because
when you trade for Trae Young and you tell him stay at home, my brother, and we'll pay off the paychecks, tells me you're tanking.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead. When they traded for him, they said that. They said, we don't know how much he's going to play, if at all. Like, so what you trade for him for? You just traded just to make everybody happy. Don't play him.
Cap space.
And we'll just tank. Trade all overall winner. He get out of Atlanta and he getting still paid big money to do nothing.
Facts. Like, you don't have to say that you're tanking. It's just show me the actions that you're doing and you're tanking. Like, there's a couple of teams that we'll talk about in this slate that are just like deliberately tanking. Like that, like they're making it like blatantly obvious that they're not trying to win basketball games.
My thing is,
so management might be tanking, but then the players who are playing are big underdogs and they're playing hard and they're probably going to lose.
Yeah, but this goes back to like the player rotations of like you see a team like the Utah Jazz and they're not playing their best players at the end of the game. Tells me they're tanking.
That's what I was talking about. Like,
really hope they're like, put in the chump. All right.
Like clearly they don't like marketing. That's why they be like, You be in there.
Marketing's too good.
Yeah, like,
you put marketing on the court, they fuck around and win some games.
Yeah, we put you in there, you go crazy, and we win a game. Like, you
ain't let you play. Brady, put in the chump.
Look at the Brooklyn Nets. We'll talk about the Brooklyn Nets, but look at the Brooklyn Nets last couple of games of like, bro, Day'Ron Sharpe's just getting DMP'd out of nowhere. Like, Michael Porter Jr. is on the trade block. Like, this is the time of year, like right before the NBA All-Star break, where teams are thinking about the future in the offseason here. And they're trying to off bad contracts or get on to players that they feel like they can free up cap space. Well, that doesn't directly apply towards the Wizards right now. They've already done those actions. So I'm kind of out on Washington, even though this should be a Washington spot. Like, this should be a spot Alexander Sarr should smash against the Portland Trailblazers and Donovan Clingan. But it's not. So I'm not going to have a bet on it.
Meantime, Spoonsbets has hooked us up with his college basketball plays. Light card for me, likes Alabama A&M, and his other two games very interesting. George Washington, of course, playing St. Louis, getting a big number. That's a very interesting game. I was thinking about George Washington as well. St. Louis has been absolutely rolling, but at a certain point, they're probably going to hit some complacency.
The Alabama A&M, that's 2:00, right?
Yeah, that's a 2:00 game. So if you guys want to, I didn't look at that game. If you guys want to blindly tail it, I would certainly endorse that. A blind tail.
They play Prairie View, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I didn't bet that game, but I seen right before we came on. I liked it this morning. I liked the Alabama. I know we're on the NBA, so I'll be a couple seconds. I like the Alabama A&M. And then the line moved against it. It was 1.5, and then it was 2.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump on them when I get off here with y'all.
Yeah, maybe I'll tail it too. Spoonsbet's also liking it, and then he's also picked the Purdue-Indiana game. He likes Purdue minus 4.5 to bounce back against Indiana. Of course, they've been slumping recently. So 3 interesting calls there from Spoonsbets and Gorko in the comments section. Also liking Purdue and Arkansas money line parlay. All right, we'll talk about this and Wine Time Sports liking the Wizards at 7.5. Not official yet though. I might add on the Wizards. I'll think about it. I'll have to think about what I want.
The Wizards is better than the under, Pete.
Yeah. My under is just thinking Washington should be D'ing. Maybe Portland will too. But I definitely when you warn me off of a total in NBA, it's good. Historically, I've tracked it. It's good for me to at least stay off. Probably flip. But I'm thinking about Washington. But yeah, maybe the Washington team total over. There you go. Think about that. All right, let's move on to the next game, which is Sacramento and the Knicks. I have no opinion on this one. The Knicks, 2 straight up in ATS wins after a long bad run. So they're clearly playing better now and probably in an upswing that's going to continue. But laying double digits. The Sacramento, they are 5 straight up losses, 1-4 ATS in those. So Sacramento slumping right now. But have the Knicks turned a corner, strong enough to justify a 13.5 point spread? That was the first line I saw. Haven't seen where it's moved, but what do you think about this one, Justin? It's a high line in light of how the Knicks were about a week ago, right?
Yeah, I don't have nothing. Absolutely, I don't have not a prop, not a total, not a side. I don't have nothing in this game. I don't like big spreads, especially with the Knicks. Like, okay, you had a little players talk, and then went out and crushed the Nets and gave up like 66 points, and like I'm still not impressed. And this Sacramento team, like it seemed like they covered. It seemed like the spread is too high. Like on the road, they just covered a giant spread. Like it was just like this when they played the Cavaliers and the Kings covered. But the Cavaliers they don't seem to cover. But Knicks don't cover big spreads, so I didn't want to get involved. But if I had to lean, it would be the Kings.
Line hasn't really moved, and the total has actually jumped up about a point. That's interesting. I was thinking maybe under on this one as well. Total's gone up. Billy Brisbane, what's your take on this one?
Yeah, on paper, this looks like a Knicks smash spot with them being at home versus the Kings, who have gone 3-19 straight up on the road this season. The Knicks have won their last 2 games, but their current form isn't like worthy of them being this big of a favorite, it feels like. Sandwich home spot before going out to Toronto. The Kings won their previous meeting about a week ago in a game where Brunson went down within the first 5 minutes of the game, didn't come back for the rest of the game, and the Kings ended up winning that game outright, and that game went way under the total. I'm talking about 20 to 30 points under the total. So for the sports books to have the Knicks as the second biggest team total of the day, I like the over in this game. I think you bet the over in this game, over 230.5 up to 231.5. Specifically, probably the Knicks team total over 122.5 at -110. That seems like a fat ass number for the Knicks, but it might be right. Ask yourself today, who do you think scores more points? The Knicks against the Kings or the Thunder against the Pelicans? And it's not priced like that. And I think the Knicks score more against the Kings because the Kings are probably more live to backdoor cover the spread than what another team would be at this big of a favorite. So if the Kings are going to be somewhat competitive and hover around that 13.5 point line, I think the Knicks go way up and over their team total, 122.5, not way up and over, but I think they finish around 128, 125. That gives you up and over the total here and probably their team total over. I think it's all good money here. I like the Knicks to score. I don't know if they're going to cover a 13.5 point spread, but I think they score a lot here in this spot. So I do what you want with the information. I think a better way to attack this game would be like, instead of throwing the Knicks in a money line parlay, maybe take an alt team total over for the Knicks at like 115.5 as a money line piece instead of betting the money line of the Knicks. While I think the Knicks win this game outright, I think the team total is a little bit more value.
Yeah, this is just too many. If this was Knicks minus 5.5, I'd be all over the Knicks at 13.
Yeah, but the number is everything. Where it's like, if you're putting the Knicks at a money line parlay, they're minus 750 outright favorites. Like at that point, you could take their team total over and get a better price tag and get half the price for a team total over than what you would for just a money line. Granted, it's not the same bet, but I think the two are highly correlated. If the Knicks think they're going to win this game, I would imagine it's going to be up and over the total. It would be more the Kings not doing their part if this game went under the total, I would imagine.
Yeah, well, Kelly McGinnis says Knicks by 30, so there you go. All right. I mean, it's certainly possible in today's NBA. I mean, if the Knicks get up big, Sacramento might just it might be another 40-point win. Could easily see that. All right, let's move on to the next game on the card, which is Milwaukee and Philadelphia. Both these teams have been bad, right? Milwaukee 4-7 straight up in their last 11, 3-8 ATS in those. And Philly, of course, on a back-to-back, got blown the fuck out by Charlotte yesterday, right? People are like, what do you mean a 40-point NBA win? That was yesterday. Charlotte blew Philly out. And, of course, Embiid was out. Now Philly's like about a 10-point favorite. The total was low, and I think it has dropped down. And, of course, Antetokounmpo is out. He got injured in the last game, and so now he's going to be out for a while. This is his first game out. Milwaukee has not done well with him straight up. I'm not sure what their ATS record was in those games, but they clearly suffer with him out. And so I guess it's a Philly spot, but again, you got Philly laying a huge number here. I was thinking maybe Philly first half. You know, Philly tends to, just in general, there's something up with this team. They seem to do better early and then like really fade in the second half. So maybe I would lay Philly first half minus 5 or 6 or something like that. Justin McKelvey, what do you think?
That's exactly what I think. I got 3 bets in this game. I got the 76ers minus 6, minus 108 first half. I got the 76ers minus 10.5, full game minus 108. And I got Tyrese Maxey over 27.5 points minus 110. And my whole logic is I felt like they punted yesterday. It's just I didn't realize they was going to punt until after I already bet the Sixers. But you lost by 37, so I felt like you punted. Maxey had 6 points. It's the ATS wise on the second leg of a back-to-back to 7-1, talking about the 76ers. The Milwaukee Bucks, they averaged 107 points without Giannis, but it's going to get lower than that with KPJ. I think this Bucks team, mine's just pumped. Giannis is not hurt. He just doesn't want to play for the Bucks. He's waiting to get traded. So I just love this is a smash spot. Like we always want to bet teams when they come off of 30-point losses, 37-point loss back at the crib, first quarter, first half, full game. It's just a smash spot. But I don't like first quarters, but it seems like first quarters, like one little slow start mess you up. But first half minus 6, full game minus 10.5, and Maxey over 27.5.
Yeah, I might join you on that. The only thing that was making me nervous is it just makes me nervous to bet, fade a team as a huge dog, the first time that their star player is out. I know he was out before and this and that, but again, here it is. Giannis is out, and now other people are going to step up. Billy Brisbane, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is right.
I'm sorry, what?
This is the second game, though.
Oh, was he? I thought he was hurt. It wasn't the last game?
He didn't play against the Nuggets, though, right? I swear they played the Nuggets. I was on this show, and I had the Nuggets. I had Milwaukee double result. Milwaukee was at home. They was playing Denver.
Yeah, he did play against the Nuggets.
No, he didn't.
That's the game where he got injured on January 23rd.
I mean, what does it really matter? He's not playing in this game here.
Right.
Let's keep this pace on going. We got the UFC streaming out there.
For me, it matters because the first game and the second game.
I'm looking at a box score. Looks like he played 30 minutes
against Denver.
Yeah, on January 23rd. Unless I'm tripping out here.
No, I'm probably bugging. My fault, Brady. Go
I
ahead.
might be bugging. No, I think, but I'm looking at the box score.
All right, let me pop this out real fast.
Yeah,
We're starting to see the sports books overpriced the back-to-back situations. More of like teams are punting one of the two games of the back-to-backs. The Sixers had an early afternoon trip against Charlotte, got blown out. Good bounce-back spot versus Milwaukee. Even with their 4-day rest advantage in this spot, I don't think it holds enough merit. People are going to see the Sixers 2-5, last 7 as double-digit favorites, but they're also 14-6 ATS off of a loss, 8th best in the NBA. I like the Sixers here. Sixers money line for parlays. Sixers double result -200 probably is a parlay piece. Player prop wise, Joel Embiid 30+ points +132. Joel Embiid's been, I mean, you could just watch him and know that he's back in action. But this is more of narrative theory. Smashes Miles Turner historically since 2019. He's gone over in 8 straight head-to-head meetings versus Miles Turner, and he's had 4 straight games of 30+ points. I think Joel Embiid's in store for a big night tonight.
All right, I think I might be having some connection issues here, but not exactly sure about that. Yeah, I'm leaning towards taking Philly first half as well. I'll make a decision on that. I'm sorry, what?
No, I said I hear you fine.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, all right, dropping out. All right, let's move on to the next game, which is, God, another one of these games where it seems pretty obvious, right? New Orleans and OKC. 2 straight excellent road dog wins for the Pelicans. So this would be a third in a row that you'd bet on. But OKC clearly overvalued right now. 2 straight up losses, both as a double-digit home favorite. And the reason is obvious. They're banged up. Their star guys are out. Alex Caruso's out. So they're just, still an excellent team that's commanding high spreads, but clearly overvalued right now. New Orleans is fighting as a dog. And once again, OKC laying a huge number. First line I saw was like 14.5. So I was thinking, why not? New Orleans, first half, full game, and maybe unders. What do you think, Justin?
Well, I don't really agree with. Well, yeah, it could be under. I'm on a OKC team total over 124.5. Got to that minus 117. But the funny thing is, I was going back and forth between the team total and the full game under, and I looked at the Pelicans team total under 109. I just think back-to-back losses. I think that they're going to focus on defense, but I expect the offense, the people that they are in there, I expect a big game out of Dort. I was almost going to bet his threes, but my notebook said no, so I'm not going to. But officially, team total after back-to-back losses, playing the Pelicans. I don't want to lay the spread. They just lost. Thunder just lost outright to the Raptors, giving up 11.5. So statistically, they don't really cover these big numbers. I don't want to be on the spread. I just want to ask them to score 125 points.
Yeah, I can understand why that would be. It's just go ahead.
I don't think the Pelicans is going to help out with. That's why I like your under. I do like the under. I just like the team total for the Thunder over more.
All right. Well, we'll see what Billy Brisbane had to say. In the meantime, Dan Kelly telling us he's really impressed with the Hornets' young lineup. Bet them to make the play-in tournament, and so keep an eye out for the Hornets to continue to have some betting value. Billy Brisbane, OKC, 2 straight up losses as double-digit home faves, and New Orleans, 2 straight excellent road dog wins. So is this a buy low, sell high spot for OKC and New Orleans respectively, or is it a no-brainer spot? Take New Orleans getting big points again.
Yeah, it was the first time that the Thunder have lost back-to-back games at home since 2023, and it's mainly because Mitchell, Ajayi Mitchell, J-Dub, and Hartenstein are all out of the lineup, and it's starting to affect them a little bit. The Thunder haven't been good ATS-wise. Like, they're finally being priced correctly. They're only have gone 23 and 24 ATS this season. The Thunder are only 1-7 last 8 games as double-digit favorites. The inflated lines have seemed to caught up to the market here for the OKC Thunder. The Pelicans are healthy and Zion looks great. This could be one of the games that they could be competitive and backdoor cover. I mean, the Pelicans have won 2 straight games, and they haven't lost by 15 or more points in 9 straight games. So I don't know where they're just popping out 14.5 just because the Thunder are off of a couple of losses. If you look at the numbers in this game, this line should be like 9.5, 10.5, and it kind of makes me want to lean towards the Pelicans plus 14.5. But damn if I do, damn if I don't. Stacks might be right. Just bet the over in this game, over 233.5, and then OKC team total overs 124.5. If you wanted to put OKC as a money line filler for like a parlay piece, I mean, I wouldn't blame you, but you're probably going to need a lot more other legs, maybe an alt line here. But I think the Pelicans can backdoor cover this line, so I kind of want to stay off of like the Thunder spread, but I think they scored.
What'd you hear? What'd you say?
I want to stay off of the Thunder spread because I think the Pelicans backdoor cover this line, but I think that they score here. I don't know how that really plays into the total, but I don't know. You would think a team coming off like the Thunder, coming off of back-to-back losses, it would be a smash spot. This ain't a smash spot. 1-7, last 8 as double-digit favorites. They're damn near 500 ATS just this year. Like the bookies know how good the Thunder are supposed to be and how good that they are, and the public also knows that. So we can't really bet on Thunder games anymore because they're like, this is probably an accurate price at 14.5. Like this number probably really finishes like right on the dot.
Yeah, I mean, why would you be expecting anything different from OKC until they get healthier and in a more motivating part of the season?
Yeah, I kind of don't want to back OKC this many points. I actually think the Pelicans are like, they're not live to win the game, but 14.5 points seems a little bit drastic. If you just put Team A and Team B and what they've done in the last 2 weeks, you would not put this line at 14.5. But because people see the Thunder and the Pelicans and the names across the jersey, that's how we get a 14.5 point line.
All right, I'm probably going to take New Orleans here. I might double up first half and full game. Yeah, the total's a little bit iffy. New Orleans went very low against the Spurs and, of course, very high against Memphis. So I think I'll hold off on the total. Next game on the card, tell me what you think. Justin McKelvey, Detroit at Denver. Detroit, of course, coming off a huge blowout win over Sacramento after a straight-up home loss to Houston. And Denver, off of 2 excellent straight-up and ATS road wins. They're now back home. But, this is it feels like this is a little bit of a tough spot for Detroit. Cade Cunningham, a little bit banged up. It's a little bit of a tough spot to play at this point in the season, to go into Denver, win by a margin. Obviously, all things being equal, Detroit is way better. But in this spot, I was thinking maybe take Denver. I'd love to be getting 10.5. But even at 6, first line I saw, I was thinking maybe Denver. What do you think?
I don't have nothing in this game. I wanted to get to Cade's assist. And when I looked at his assists, it seemed like it was better to take his double-double more than his assist. Assist was over 9.5. And I kind of wanted to get there, but being, like you said, he's a little bit banged up. Nothing too serious. But this spread, it just seemed like it's a little bit high. Like I feel like they're still mispricing the Nuggets without Jokic. Like this spread is like, I don't know, I just think it's way off. Like 7.5 on the road. This Nuggets team, since Jokic for the most part, since he's been out, they've been feisty a little bit. I mean, they get smacked every once in a while, but they feisty. So 7.5, and then they priced me out with Cade. So I don't have nothing, but my first thought would be either Cade double-double, Cade assist, or the Nuggets spread.
Yeah. By the way, I will make Pelicans first half and full game official. First half plus 8.5 minus 105 and 14.5 minus 113. Billy Brisbane, what do you think? Is this a sneaky spot to take Denver as a home dog with value, which is often the case with Denver teams, especially in the deep grind of seasons?
I low-key like Denver here in this spot. I mean, how does this not feel like a Denver spot? I mean, this is one of those type of games where, like, people explain to you about, like, how NBA betting is different than, like, other leagues. Do not bet off the power rankings. The power rankings of these two teams are way different. The Detroit Pistons are a way better team than the Denver Nuggets, but in this spot scenario, the Denver Nuggets are alive, man. I mean, they're in that home underdog role where they've been money, man. They've gone 10-1 ATS last 11 games as an underdog of 5 points or more, with 7 of those 10 being straight outright wins. So if you're betting Denver plus points of 5 or more, you're cashing outright on the money lines. This seems like the man bear pig spot of like, oh, nobody thinks the Nuggets are alive, but then like you actually really unveil their record. I mean, they've been pretty good. If you look at Detroit on the surface, 14-6 straight up on the road, but 11-9 ATS is what they've gone of recent. 6-10 last 16 as road favorites ATS wise. So like you're back in Detroit on the road at favorite numbers, you're not getting paid out. So it kind of makes me want to just lean towards the Nuggets right then and there. And then you kind of look at the spot and you look at the totals screaming that this isn't going to be a bunch of crazy amount of points scored. This is one of the lower totals of the day. I think Denver's in store to win this game, if not backdoor cover. I like Denver plus a 6. I like the lean towards the under, but I don't even think the over-under is like something that you need to bet on to make money here. But I think Denver's a spot. Denver plus a 6. Denver team total over 104.5. I get it. The Pistons are a 10 times better team than the Denver Nuggets at this current state. But for this spot scenario tonight, I think Denver's to play.
And the line has moved in Detroit's favor, so we'll see where it closes if it moves back. And people are talking about the total opened really low at like 218.5. I was thinking maybe under even at that line, and now it's down to 216. So that is very low. AOD thinks Nuggets are definitely live tonight. The Godfather 18 doesn't trust the Nuggets in the second half at home. And let's see. Spoon's Bet says he felt like he was backing the Generals against the Globetrotters last night in the Sixers game. I feel you. Fernando Mendoza likes the under in this game, even at 216.5. But AM like in the over, and the line moved against him. But we all know that AM, doesn't care that much about these kinds of line moves. And
the only thing that scares me about the over/under is the pace of play. The pace of play of this game could be way slower than what you would be looking at in like a model or something like that. Stacks, how do you feel about pace of play in this one? I feel like this one could be dummy slow.
I do. I like the under. I meant to say it in there, but when you mentioned the team total over for the Nuggets, and I would like it, but like you said, it just seemed like this is going to be a slow, walking up the court type game. And like ever since Joker's been gone, like especially this Nuggets team, like it's not just them. It seems like their opponents now. Like no one's playing fast now. Nobody's like everybody's walking it up. Low scoring games. It would have to be the under, but I don't like getting under low totals like this.
Yeah, I'm not convicted. It seems like 216.5 is really that spot where you could fuck around and get zipped. But the Nuggets have gone under in 4 straight games. Prior to the Pistons' last game that they played the Sacramento Kings, who were dog shit, they went 5 straight games under.
AM liking the over though, and that makes me very nervous to take an under. All right, we'll see.
I'm not convicted.
Who said something?
I said I'm not convicted. I like the Brooklyn Nets Phoenix under 10 times more.
All right, well, that is the game we're going to talk about. Tell us why you like this one, Billy Brisbane. Nets against Phoenix. Nets absolutely crushed in their last 2 road games by 37 and 54 points. Absolutely embarrassing. They only lost to 9 at home to Phoenix a few games ago. So, they're getting about that same amount of points here. Very low total, as you said. Phoenix, 2 straight up losses, both as a small favorite, one at home, one on the road. And, my line for no Devin Booker, of course, for Phoenix. My note on this one is really no idea here, actually. The Nets getting crushed, very low total. You're saying you like the under. Why do you like that one, Billy?
All the sharps are going to be on the Brooklyn Nets. Take the Nets plus the points. Take the Nets plus the points. Oh, look at the Suns. They've gone 1-4 without Booker, and they've only scored over 100 points one of those times. You know what I got to tell those people? They played the fucking Houston Rockets, Detroit Pistons, Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Miami Heat. They wasn't going to win those games. You put a Brooklyn Nets team in front of them, they might smack them up. If I told you the best team in the league this year, ATS record-wise, was the Phoenix Suns, you would be like, where have I been in a box? Why have I not bet on them? They've gone 31-15 ATS, 15-5 ATS at home. Probably one of the best home atmospheres in the NBA. No Devin Booker in the lineup for this one. They're going to know how they perform without Devin Booker in the lineup. I think we get a one-off spot here where the Suns continue to smack on down a bad team that's looking down bad right now. Brooklyn's second game of a 5-game road trip got blown out versus the Clippers in the last one. Usually don't like picking on teams while they're down, but I like Phoenix as a money line piece. I like the under 210.5. This line opened up at 212. It's gone down a little bit. And I don't think Brooklyn cracks 100. If you look at Brooklyn's team total tonight, it's 101.5, juice towards the under at -120. I don't think they crack 100 in this one. So if they're not cracking 100, why am I not just betting the under 210 outright alone. Like if a team doesn't hit 100 points, I mean, that's basically a free under, I feel like. I like the Suns double result more as a lean, but this is a Sun spot. And if the Suns are going to play up to the spot, I think it's going to be defensively. This is the best total of the day. This is going way under the total.
All right. Well, it was low when it started. Now it's down to 210 or 210.5. Justin McKelvey, what do you think of this one?
That's wild. Hell of a breakdown. I love his breakdown. And it's hard for me to give my little pitch after that. But I wrote it down and I capped it, so I'm gonna give it out. But I'm on the over. And I almost the opposite of everything that he says. I don't agree with. I feel like that the Nets, one of these two teams is gonna have a big output. Nets only had 89 points their previous game, even though ever since Cam been back, they're not scoring and they're not playing no defense. But they're giving up points. And I feel like 210.5. I got over 210.5. I got juiced at minus 115. And my whole thought process is one of these two teams is a big output. At 210.5, it's too low. It's snuck over with the Clippers and the Nets. I was just on the over, what was it, 2 days ago? 2 days ago? So it was like 211.5. And I went over that and it crawled over. With this kind of total and with the Nets coming off that horrible performance the last game, I just think there's too many things that I could crawl over this. And then without Booker, I expect big points from Dillon Brooks. It was either the over or Dillon Brooks. And I didn't pick Dillon because just who he is. Like, he do too much. So I like that. No, I love this over.
Well,
I loved it a lot. I loved it a lot until Grizz loved the under.
I mean, now it's
I like the under, man. I mean, 210.5. I mean, even if the Brooklyn Nets play good, I would imagine they're going to have to lock up all defense here. And then you take off Devin Booker, the offensive numbers for Phoenix. If you like the over, I would just bet Grayson Allen props.
My thought was I broke it down like 113-90.
113.90.
I mean, that's awfully close.
And that's what I'm saying. It keeps me.
If you got wait, time out though. If you got 113-90, then you should be betting the shit out of the Phoenix Suns, bro.
My fault. 113. My fault. 113 to 100. My fault. I'm looking at it. I'm like, wait a minute. That don't sound right.
You got the Suns winning by 20 points. Why are you on it?
I don't. Yeah, if I had them winning by 20 points, that's my whole thing. I had it 113 to 100. My fault. That's why I didn't want to give up the points because it's too close to the spread. If I'd have thought it was a 20-point game, I'd just let it spread and been off the total. But I just feel like it's going to be a big number compared to this total as far as this game. Like a 113, 115, that's all I really need.
I mean, just for my own future, awareness going forward, what in the hell is going on with this Nets team? Why are they losing by freaking 25 every road game? Like, what is going on here?
You know what happened, Pete? They said, yo, we try to take some games, and they said, oh, we're tanking? Nigga, we're not even going to show up then. And it's like, all right, you're taking the tanking thing to a new level here. At least play competitive for 3 of the 4 quarters. They're saying Michael Porter Jr. just was put on the trade block for the trade deadline in like a couple of weeks before the All-Star break. And that was kind of like them saying we're tanking for the season. How the fuck are you going to trade Michael Porter Jr. after you just got him over the offseason and he's been snapping for you? We always shit on Michael Porter Jr. about him just shooting the basketball. He's been shooting, scoring, and passing for the Nets, and they said, nah, get out of town.
And my whole thing is real quick. These teams that are tanking, when have we seen that been successful? I don't understand why teams every year do this shit. When do you see this ever work? Ever.
Bro, we saw teams tank last year and the fucking Dallas Mavericks fuck around and got the first overall pick and they're in the playing game. We saw the Atlanta Hawks the year before be in the playing game and fuck around and still got the first overall pick. I don't think the teams are getting it. Just because you're tanking doesn't mean you're getting the number 1 overall pick. But this is the type of NBA draft, though. You get a top 5 pick, you're pretty set. Like,
how long have we been trusting the process in Philly?
No, I'm just saying, if you tank in this draft, right, and you don't get the number one overall pick, it's not that big of a drop off as it's been in other years between like the number one player and the number 2, 3, and 4. This year, if you put Peterson from Kansas, AJ Bonanza, and Boozer all in the bucket, I would. If you're the Brooklyn Nets, you're fine with any of those 3, and you don't care who it is.
That's what I'm saying. So the teams are tanking. That's what you're saying. You're saying I want one of those 3, and that'll fix everything.
That's what they're saying. I don't agree with that. I think it's a very stupid thing to do, but I mean, if you just be like the Jazz have just played straight up. Like, you know what I'm saying? They keep on drafting people and they keep on playing straight up. Yeah, they're tanking, but they're always competitive in games and stuff like that. Like their head coach really cares about their win-loss column. So I don't know. Brooklyn Nets are a weird team if they really tank.
I think the Jazz got hope like within the next maybe 4 or 5 years.
100%. The Jazz definitely have hope. I mean, they have players.
As far as all the tanking teams, I think the Jazz, they got some hope.
All right, I'll tell you what I am going to do,
how
though.
Big of a package,
this all capping the cappers and everything. I'm going to add officially, and I'll quote the lines later, Philly first half, Phoenix first half, money line parlay. Money line parlay. Should be pretty close to even money. Probably a small favorite there, but I'm going to take both of those. Philly first half and Phoenix first half, money line parlay. Man.
I like that a lot, Pete. I was thinking about the money line parlay and both of those just outright.
I'm gonna write that down. I kind of like that.
It shouldn't be too much of a favorite there. Fernando Mendoza tells us usually when Nets team total is this low, I take the over. It usually goes over by 2 points if it was at 104.5 or 105.5 under. And Ron Crawford,
look at the Nets last game
of the day, Phoenix Suns. So maybe the play is don't mess around with moneyline parlays, just Phoenix minus the points, which, you know, it seems super obvious. You know what it's like, it's one of those, don't overthink yourself. I mean, yeah, maybe the Nets will come in here and really fucking ball and only lose by 15. And then you still You know what I mean?
That's how I feel, Pete. Yeah, they might bounce back, but we're still about to get paid on this odds here.
They're going to step the fuck up. These guys are going to lose by 18, 20, something like that. Just watch. Unbelievable. All right. Well, I'm going to make that an official play. And now let's move on to the last game on the card. Clippers and Utah. Utah, big home dog here. And Utah, of course, also, man, these NBA, there's a lot of embarrassing teams in the NBA, man. Utah have 2 bad, embarrassing home losses. It's one thing to lose by 50 on the road. It's another thing to get blown out repeatedly by 25 at home, man. You guys got people buying tickets. And now they're going up against Clippers, who are off of 2 impressive home wins and covers, playing great with Kawhi Leonard. He clearly helps a lot, including ATS-wise. You know, a lot of these star players don't necessarily help straight up, to say nothing about ATS, but obviously the Clippers get a big boost when Kawhi's playing well, which he is. So maybe a double-digit, win by the Clippers at Utah is not unthinkable. Utah just not playing defense, and do they have the capability to do it? I don't really know. Are they going to be able to step up and D up here? I don't know. My official final note on this game is ugh, not sure here. Justin McKelvey, what do you think?
I'm on a prop here. Everybody should pretty much. It's my guy. I like taking him at home. I like taking him on these shows, and I like him especially with this total and at home. At home, this Utah Jazz team, love to go over, but I'm not on this over against this Clippers team. They play a little bit more defense, so I don't think it's going to be over. But I'm on Isaiah Collier double plus 190. I usually bet his assist. But his assist priced me out, and he always cash my assist. So just give me 10 points. Give me double for Isaiah Collier, plus 190.
All right. Sounds good. Billy Brisbane, the Clippers, really great, getting wins and covers. Now, though, they're going to have to cover by double digits at Utah, which is certainly very doable. What do you think, Billy?
The Clippers have been one of the hottest teams in the league, covering 7 of the last 9 off of a 30-plus win in their last game after beating the Lakers by double digits the game before that. We're starting to see the tanking side of the Jazz's season, but, man, it's hard not to lean towards them plus the points this year. I mean, 25 and 21 ATS this season, and they've gone 15-9 ATS at home. That would be the fourth best in the NBA. So they have the fourth best NBA ATS covering record, and they're catching damn near double-digit points at home. Makes me, I gotta lean towards Utah here. It's just business. Take your feelings out of the shit. Just stick to business, and business is business here. And I think it's Utah plus the points in the over. If Utah's going to cover plus 8.5, I would imagine this game goes up and over the total. Shouts to LJ posting that one on X, and I agree with him. Clippers, Jazz, over the total.
Yeah, I mean, Utah's not playing any defense. Total has gone up from 232 to about 234. And in light of how great the Clippers have been, ATS, and Utah not great, ATS, lines moved a point in their favor, down to 8.5, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jazz or nothing. I'm not back. It's when you back the Clippers at double digits is where you start thinking to yourself at the end of the night, man, fuck this Clippers team. This team sucks. So you start, but it's you, sir, that are pressing the fucking button.
Right.
That minus double digits.
Yeah. You're the one
that's not how the Sharps would say it, though. The Sharps.
No, I agree with Brittany. You're the one that sucks if you press the button on the Clippers double digits on the road. Don't be mad at them. Be mad at yourself.
Deadass, bro.
There you go. Bo Jackson, 3398. I'm on the Jazz money line. I mean, the line has moved in their favor, so that tells you something.
And it's funny because they play today. We'll get to that next. I had to learn that about Marquette. Like, I had to just stop betting. Like,
yes.
Because it's not them that sucks. I mean, they suck, but I suck more.
We'll talk about that. Yeah. Talk about that in a second. But ever since the VCU run in March Madness, I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then I was like, "Shaka Smart's the coach." And ever since then, I've had a great read on Shaka Smart in general. I've talked about this for years and years and years. And Marquette's team this year, at first, I was like, "All right, these are the spots where I bet on Shaka Smart teams." And then when it didn't come anywhere close to what I was expecting, I was like, I knew early on. I was like, until further notice, this team fucking sucks. And I have
the problem with Marquette is they ain't getting those same Shaka Smart ain't getting those same recruits as he once was like 5 years ago. Like he used to get some of the best guards in the country. Now he's just getting the ass end of the piles of 4-star and 3-star recruits.
I'm 1-6 betting them. 1-6.
Now I learned my lesson on that Saturday game in like the first month of the season. They got blown the fuck out, and I said, "Nah, this Marquette team's ass."
Yeah,
but I
knew
saying,
that early
like,
on. You're a great poker player. You have 8-3. You're not going to win in many hands.
Then I was listening to Spoon tell me, like, just wake up and fade. He's like, I'm going to fade Marquette all year.
Yeah.
And
I didn't have the balls to fade him, but I definitely have not been betting on him like I often do. All right.
I'm off them.
So that does it for the NBA card. I'll review my official plays. I am going to add on Washington +7 -103. I can't not do it. I feel like in previous shows there were similar spots where I like Washington. Of course, there's reasons why you wouldn't like them. And, Portland on a back-to-back and the losses, they could easily smash them here. But I'm going to take them +7 -103. So right now I got 4 official plays. Pelicans first half +8.5 -105. Pelicans full game +14.5 -113. Washington +7 -103. And Philly first half money line. Phoenix first half money line parlay -300 and -240. Parlay in those two. So that's 4 official plays. Justin McKelvey, please review your official plays. Thanks so much.
I got the Wizards Trailblazers over 232.5 -112. I got the 76ers -6. I got 6.5. It is 6.5 when I bet it. 76ers -6.5 -108 first half. 76ers -10.5 -108. Tyrese Maxey over 27.5 points -110. OKC team total over 124.5 -117. Phoenix Suns, Brooklyn Nets over 210.5 -112, and Isaiah Collier double +190.
All right, and again, Phoenix Suns is the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day. Bo Jackson on Utah Jazz money line. Billy Brisbane, please review your official plays. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I'm going to post the official plays when we get done recording the UFC podcast because I did that shit last week before the podcast, and I felt like I added like 3 fucking bets after I got done the UFC podcast. But the top plays for me got to be Philadelphia, Phoenix right off the bat. team total wise, I got to side between New York and OKC. Underdog of the day is going to be Denver plus the 6. And I think the best total of the day, I'm tailing LJ on that Clippers Utah Jazz over 233.5. And then one player prop I didn't talk about on the slate that I do like is Ivica Zubac double here against the Utah Jazz is in a really good spot. And then the other one was this is the highest I've ever seen Donovan Kling's fucking rebound prop. Donovan Kling's rebound prop is at 12.5. I mean, you don't have to go over 12.5, my brother. Just put in a couple of layups and get 10 rebounds. We catch this double, man. But I can't give out Donovan Kling as an official because the amount of money I've lost on his double prop is just disgusting. But damn if I do, damn if I don't. I'm getting ready for another Donovan Kling double today. I mean, his rebounds are at 12.5. I mean, you just gotta hit the layups, man. Just hit the layups. It's Alexander Sarr. That's just kind of where my thought process is right now. And I would say the most exotic play of the day is got to be Denver, bro. Denver plus the 6 is speaking to me, but that line's going up to 7.5 in some places. That's one of those, it's Durrell. I don't give a fuck where the spread goes. You're telling me the Pistons aren't going to be a parlay shitter if they lost outright, and you wouldn't be shocked that they lost outright? That's just my thoughts, man. People see that -6, man. They're like, oh, we throw the Pistons in a 2-leg. And it's just like, nah, my G. Maybe the Clippers are the 2 teams I'm worried about today.
I'm only laughing because I remember them days.
What, throwing them in a little parlay and be like,
money
what
line.
I'll tell you one
Sometimes
thing.
I do them just to do them, though. You know, you ever? I've been getting crucified on Instagram, but it's like if like 14 out of the 16 people that I'm looking at are favorites and they're all gonna fucking win, might as well put a little. Don't go crazy on them. Don't little quarter unit.
When I first started it, my way was take the top 3 favorites and just money line their parlay. And then
when I first started, it was parlay your favorite NBA bet with your favorite NCAA line, and then you start realizing that don't work.
No, that shit don't work.
I'll tell you one thing I will do. I've done this in other shows. I agree with you. The Utah game feels like it might soar over. So I agree with that in general. If the first half goes under 113.5, I will post in the Discord, and the second half over will be an official play for me. I will make that an official play. Only if the first half goes under 113.5. So that's a fifth.
I'd be having to check my Pub Sport Discord. Like my noties ain't on because I have to physically remember to go on there. I don't get no plays, nothing from Pub. Nothing.
Yeah.
But
check your,
I have the little when I go on there, I see all the plays. It's just when people post, I don't get no notification. For other Discord, I do. Yeah, so it's something on my end. It's not on Pub's end. It's on my end.
You should ask Jose Bouquett for help with that.
Could be your cell phone settings. It could be your cell phone settings where, like, for example, on my tablet, I just have it just normal. Like the thing that I'm recording on right now, I just have it normal. So any message comes across through the top of the screen. But on my cell phone, it's not like that. I want to see if I'm watching a game on my phone. I want to see none of that shit. I put that shit on sleep mode, and not a fucking text message comes through unless I look at it personally.
That's why it is, because all my Discords and my thing is on this phone, and this is the Android, but the iPhone is the Pub Discord. You're right. It is the settings.
And
this is an Android.
I just figured it out. What?
Just to let you guys know, Wine Time Sports and Spoons Beth both liking Marquette tonight, saying Creighton's overrated.
Oh yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. Wait,
Creighton is so ass. Creighton is so ass this year. It's wild.
Spoons on Marquette.
They both Spoons. He says I think they are live today.
I'm about to say he's the one told me
say that he's on it, but he thinks they're live today.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I guess agreeing that they're live, not necessarily going to bet them.
I don't know. I feel like when you say they're live, I feel like you bet it.
Let's get into college basketball right now. Billy Brisbane, do you have to leave really quickly, or
What do you have to do?
Is Mills in the fucking comment section? Because we're really waiting on Mills and his fucking haircut. I think I should be good. If Mills is still commenting in the comment section, we're good.
All right. Whenever you have to jet, you can jet. But let's start with your games that you want to single out specifically. Billy Brisbane, what are you liking tonight?
I think the big game of the day that is like swirling my brain around. We won't start off with the main course. We'll hit you with a little bit of a teaser here. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. Notre Dame plus 9.5. The crib against Virginia? I don't think Notre Dame gets blown out by double digits here in this spot. If you don't know, I am a little bit biased towards Notre Dame. My brother went to the university. When he went to university, like when we would visit him and shit like that, like we'd be smoking with the players on the fucking team that I just saw in March Madness a couple of weeks ago. So I'm a little bit biased towards Notre Dame. But they started off so bad in that Boston College game this past weekend, and they had to fight and claw their way back into that game where I don't think that they're going to get off to as a slow start as they did in these last games this past week. This past week, they've gotten not past week, but the past couple of weeks, in the month of January, they got blown out by double digits damn near in every fucking game. And if this line was really saying that Virginia was going to smack them, I feel like this would be above double digits. It's right at that number at 9.5. I think Notre Dame is live to cover the spread. I don't think they're going to win the game outright, but I don't think they get blown out in this one. And I think the game goes under the total of 140.5.
All right, yeah, Virginia, of course, awesome. They had been rolling. Now they're off a huge, they're off a home favorite loss to UNC. Notre Dame, 5 straight ATS losses, also lost most of those straight up. And my note on this one was Virginia should bounce back, but damn, this is kind of a high line. Justin, did you look at that game at all?
I guess me and Brizzy can't get along at all today. When I got Virginia underlined and highlighted that they're going to take the dog for a walk today. Like coming off that loss, it was 7.5 home point favor against North Carolina. Was up decent size in that game and then came back and lost. Yeah, I think Notre Dame going out back.
Okay, yeah, we'll see how it happens. I might have a live bet on that one. Billy Brisbane, what else would you like to bring to our attention?
We'll just tease it with how do you guys feel about Nebraska versus Michigan? I mean, that's game of the day here. I mean, you see a double-digit spread on Michigan, kind of just makes you want to back them. I would imagine the general public is going to be all over Nebraska here. I mean, undefeated team catching points. I think this game goes. I think Michigan locks them up, and I think they get. I'm stuck between betting Nebraska under, saying like Nebraska is not going to crack 75 points or their team total today 72.5. That's fat, man, for a Michigan game. Or flipping it and saying if Michigan's really going to cover the spread, I should be on them first half full game. So I'm kind of like stuck in between. I think it's a Michigan spot all day though.
Well, yeah, this one, of course, is interesting. Michigan, 5-1 straight up last 6 and lost all 6 of those games ATS. So Michigan is definitely in that spot now. You see it all the time. A great team, big favorite, winning straight up game in and game out and losing ATS game in and game out. High total here, high spread here, though. And Nebraska, of course, they have a redshirt freshman, Brendan Frager, who had an ankle injury in his last game, and he's a big player for them. So that makes a difference, I think, for Nebraska. But, yeah, it is a huge spread here. Justin, you look at this game. Do you have anything on it?
Yeah, there was 2 teams in the college that it's been a couple of weeks ago. I started off fading them, and it wasn't working in my favor. That's Miami, Ohio, and Nebraska. And I was fading their undefeated win streak, and I stopped about 3 weeks ago. And since I stopped, it's been wonderful. I don't even cap their games no more. The lines be funny. I think this line, and I'm not making it official because it was just something that I didn't even cap the game. I just woke up and bet it. And I bet Nebraska plus 10.5. My thing is, 1 to 20, they ain't have no win. They're like, what, 20-0, 21-0, 19-0, something like that. Everyone, all you hear, every game, Nebraska's not good, Nebraska's not this. But you know who else is overrated? This Michigan team. I was on them. I had stacks with the Ohio State, and you could call it a look ahead. They was getting 15.5 Ohio State covered. When is the last time this Michigan team has covered a spread, a big spread, let alone any spread? So my thing is, whether they win or not, I don't know. I think the money line for Nebraska is worth a little pizza money, little Domino's or every little corner store pizza. I think it's worth it, but you don't give me an undefeated team with 10.5 points with a team that never covers. Speaking of Michigan, Michigan don't ever cover. They lost at home to Wisconsin. Like Wisconsin just lost to USC. So my whole thing is 10.5 points. I ain't even count the game. I seen 10.5 points and I bet Nebraska. That's the only reason why I'm not making it official.
It is pretty crazy. Nebraska, of course, still undefeated on the year. My thing is, like, if Nebraska's like up by 8 at the half, I might bet Michigan to come back and just win the game. You know, it should be close to about minus 110.
And I would do that too. But my thing is, if Michigan was in the same form they was in the beginning of the season, where they was putting up like 100 a game and blew out Gonzaga, it was. So if they're not the same Michigan as that Michigan, and they're still being priced as that same Michigan, they're not.
Yeah.
Like if you just go back, when's the last time that they covered the spread? And now
I
you
can
want
tell you
me
how many ATS losses in a row? Six ATS losses in a row.
That's what I'm saying. Now you want me to cover a 10.5 point spread to an undefeated team? And I feel like I know there's gonna be a lot of people saying the books is telling you what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna bet that the books is wrong. Because 10.5 for undefeated team, 0-6 last 6 ATS. I'll take. It ain't no well bet. It's just a unit, and I ain't got that much confidence to make it official. But I bet it.
Crazy game. I will say this: that if Nebraska's up by like 6 or 8 or 10 at the half, I might live bet Michigan just to win the game. But that's it. It's a very scary game, very interesting game and line. Billy Brisbane, what else do you want to bring to our attention?
Next one to bring to the attention here. Miami of Ohio taking on UMass.
Yeah.
I don't want to get giddied up here, but dude, why is I feel like I should just take Miami of Ohio and just not even second guess it. Why is this line 9.5 and not like 15, 17?
Well, because they're like a broke Michigan right now. They're great, they're winning, but they're pretty clearly overvalued right now. You know, they beat 2 straight overtime wins. They're still undefeated, I think, right? But 2 straight overtime wins, and they look vulnerable. ATS. I was thinking UMass. I just don't know if I had the balls to do it.
Yeah, I'm not super convicted. My bad, Stacks.
No, you good. He's probably talking to you, and I'm going to sound like a hypocrite. But it's 2 different situations because Miami High is not like I was betting Miami High when they'd be like plus 1.5 playing, in the rivalries, but giving up 9.5 and giving up giant spreads. So this don't apply to my wake up and blind bet Nebraska. And when I cap this game, I feel like I want to bet UMass so bad. But my whole thought process when I got all my plays wrote down in my little paragraph. I'm like, you're being real hypocritical. Like, you're talking about you're not fading Miami, Ohio, you're not fading Nebraska, but now you want to fade Miami, Ohio because of the points and back Nebraska. And then it started renting space in my head, and I had to go for a walk and think it out. But in my mind, and it might be wrong, but in my mind, the way I cap, it's 2 different situations because I'm getting Nebraska plus points. Like, all I need y'all to do is win. If y'all don't win, don't get smacked. Now you want Miami, Ohio. I like Miami, Ohio when they're like, because they keep getting, when they play teams like, don't quote me, I don't know exactly what it was, like Bowling Green, Toledo, Kent State, like them type teams. They'd be like plus 1.5. And I was just betting Miami, Ohio. But to ask them to win by margin, by 10 plus, I don't know. I like UMass, but I'm not going to bet it because, it's the same thing as the Michigan. As I said, it's hypocritical, but maybe this line big for a reason. I disagree with it, but maybe it is.
Yeah, and the difference, of course, is that Michigan has been losing ATS, game in and game out. And, Kent State has had 2 OT wins, but they've still, they were a little bit too big of a favorite against Western Michigan in early January. But they have been still continuing to cover. Even the Kent State game, they started out as a favorite, but they ended as a dog, and it went to OT. So they didn't get bailed out by OT on that one. So, yeah, it's a different situation because Kent State, because Miami, Ohio is still covering.
Every day I do a a quarter unit, 10-leg money line parlay. Is the way I look at it is, and I've only been doing this like 6 months, and it came from my grandmother. My grandmother was like, she plays lottery every day, and her making me go play her numbers. I'm like, you know what? I don't play the lottery, but 10-leg money line. I started doing that, and I mean, I do it. I'm more successful than not. So, but I would put Miami and Ohio in a money line parlay. Like that would be one of my 10 legs. But
Yeah,
if you had to
I
go
don't
for
know.
a spread, I
Yeah,
want to bet that.
that's kind of how I would look at it too, Justin. Like if you're running like a 5+ leg parlay, I'd use them as a filler.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
if you're looking for that lottery pick parlay like I do, definitely Miami, Ohio, undefeated team, just to win the game on a 9-point spread, 9.5-point spread. If that's what you're looking for, but if you're looking for a spread bet, then I'm probably not going to get there. I'll be on UMass spread, Miami, Ohio, money line parlay.
all right. Unlike Michigan, Miami, Ohio has not been bad. ATS recently, and of course all year long, they've been great. All right, Billy Brisbane, what else would you like to bring to our attention?
There's some mid-major games that I would say that are interesting, just following where the lines have gone. One early, one late. The early one is the Billikens, aka White Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That line opened up at 12.5. It's came down to 9.5, and just from like a betting synopsis scenario, man, it was Friday night. This is not gambling advice. It was Friday night. I checked the TV guide and I said, I'm betting on one of these fucking college basketball games that are coming on the next 30 minutes and we're going to make some money. And I was looking at the Billikens line and I was like, yo, 7.5 seems too expensive. 7.5? I don't think I would have bet him 7.5. Next thing you know, the line jumped up. This is peep game on FanDuel. If you have a bet slip, a bet on a bet slip, and they change it where it goes red, our preconceived notion is green is good, red is bad. On FanDuel, red is good, green is bad. If it's going up in numbers, don't bet that shit. Something in there is wrong. If it goes red, that means they don't want you to bet that shit because the line just got worse. The line got worse at 8.5 for the Billikens. I backed them. They're up by like fucking 40-something points by halftime. And I was like, I don't think the Billikens are that good. Like, that was probably the best game I've ever seen them play. They ain't miss a fucking three-pointer. They're hitting every shot possible. And I was like, man, it's either the Billikens are a little bit better than what I thought, or St. Bonaventure is ass this year. And I think St. Bonaventure's ass this year. I think you take George Mason plus the 9.5. Man, call me crazy. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. You take the 9.5 and the under here, man. There's no way they could shoot better than what the fuck they did on Friday night. Bro, that game was fake. It literally looked like a 2K game. They were up 32 to like 8 at the first 5-minute mark. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? In a good way.
St. Louis is not, okay, they're not that good, but they're really good. They take a lot of threes and they hit a lot of them. They don't hit 58% every game, but they take a lot of them and they do hit a lot of them, and they're a scary team. George Washington gets in transition, though, and I was thinking maybe the over, but it's such a high total. First half over, maybe 80. That's tempting as well. St. Louis is very scary to fade, and ATS-wise, they've had some losses, but in general, they've been great ATS all year long. Justin, did you look at this one?
Yeah, I got 11. I got 11.5 with George Washington, and I loved it. First thing my thought was over the weekend, I was on the St. Bonnie and St. Louis over and in cash, but only in cash because St. Louis ran away with it, and Bridget nailed it. Like, I think it's both. I think this St. Louis team is that good, and I think St. Bonaventure is that bad. But you're running up. My whole thing is everything y'all shot in Atlanta. Y'all just scored what was it, like 96 points, 90 something points. My whole thing is this George Washington team is feisty. I like the way they get second chance points. And my thing is for St. Louis, do it again. You want to give me 11.5 points? Do it again. I bet it. I wasn't confident. I didn't want to stand in front of them. The only reason why I'm even mentioning it is because y'all brought it up. I ain't confident to make it official, but I bet it. I bet George Washington like last night, no, this morning plus 11.5.
Yeah.
This morning mean like 1
They
a.m.
definitely seem like the move.
Yeah. St. Louis is good, but they're not Harlem Globetrotters good. Like, cut it out. You're not gonna run up this. No, they're just like
All right,
everything.
this is tough. I'm thinking maybe a George Washington team total over because they do get transition points, and you got to think that they're probably just gonna want to keep up with St. Louis if they're hitting their threes with their transition scoring. So I was thinking maybe George Washington team total over. I might add that one on, but that's a very interesting game. All right, Billy, what else do you like?
The other game was, I feel like we always come on the show and we talk about Kentucky. How did you guys feel about Kentucky Vanderbilt? I was kind of leaning towards Vanderbilt backwoods smoke session, but it feels like one of these times I'm going to bet against Kentucky and regret it.
I'm right with you. I think Kentucky going out bad. I think this Vanderbilt after all them losses. Well, it wasn't all them losses. It was two losses, and then they just smacked. What was it? Mississippi State. I think this Vanderbilt team's going to bounce back. Nah, when I say bounce back, they just jumped on Mississippi State. I mean, they're going to stay bounce back. Like, they just jumped on Mississippi State, come back home. They was on the road all them games. And then they're going to blow this Kentucky team out. We just watched Kentucky. They've been struggling. They just coming off a win against
They've been winning.
No, they just won over the weekend. I can't remember who they just played.
They played Ole Miss at home.
Yeah, I was on the
But it feels like their recent wins are to make up for some badass out of conference losses. I mean, this is not a good Kentucky team, but they're playing good right now.
I think they're
playing.
About
Kentucky is that like they're banged up, but they're deep and they're scrappy and they're fighting. You know what I mean? They're not letting the injuries and stuff get them down. I was actually thinking about the under here. I was leaning Kentucky getting that many points. But the under first line I saw was 160.5. It is down about 1.5 points there. I might add that one on. Of course, Vanderbilt can play very high scoring games, but Kentucky, they seem like they're probably going to, the good strategy would be to slow it down and to play a more physical style, which they should be able to do. I was thinking about the under.
I think you could be correct. I wouldn't I don't like Kentucky. I don't think I want to be involved with them doing anything besides fading them, and that would be a part of fading them. But probably Arkansas, Oklahoma's best game of the day, right? I mean, pick 'em line.
You don't like Kentucky. I mean, they have the marquee name, so it's hard for them to have betting value. But
I don't like Kentucky from the aspect of how are you going to say this? Talk about Pope. How are you going to say BYU isn't giving me enough resources? I'm gonna go down to Kentucky. They fire Calipari, and you look at both of those fucking teams. Arkansas and BYU have more NBA players, better results, and everything. Like, I think it's Pope. Pope's a fraud of a coach, man. Mm-hmm. You don't give him the right perfect situation with a bunch of Christian kids and shit like that, and you give him like some brothers mixed in with some white kids and shit like that. He just folds. It just seemed like the players weren't responding to him well. Now the players are responding to him well, but that's also driven down this line down to 6.5. If this is Kentucky from like a week and a half ago, this line would be 8.5, 9.
Yeah, this is a really tough one because we talked about the Arkansas game. I didn't think they'd get blown out, but they did. But I had Arkansas. That was one of my picks. And then I said that maybe they'd start to go on a run of winning and covering. They've only played one game, and that was at Mississippi State, and they blew them out as a decent-sized road favorite. That's just one game, though. Mississippi State's no great shakes. But, yeah, maybe this is – I think you might be right. Maybe Vanderbilt is to play here, full game.
They going in my Vanderbilt's going to be on my money line, my 10 leg, but I also want to bet Vanderbilt. I'm probably going to get there. I really do think that and it's not even so much that I think Vanderbilt is that good and Kentucky is that average. I just think it's the spots. And I think this Kentucky team, like, you got to pick and choose. And somebody is like, shout out Dab. Dabby, he got a pulse on this Kentucky team. Like, certain teams in college, there's like 3 or 4 from Houston, A&M. But, like, Dabby be killing this Kentucky team. I was gonna text him and ask him, like, is he fucking with him? But I like Vanderbilt. That's the reason why I didn't want to text him, because I didn't want him telling me he took like something like Kentucky first half. So I ain't texting because I don't want his opinion no more because I like Vanderbilt.
It's going to be a pass for me as well. All right, Brizzy, is that it for the games you want to single out?
Yeah, I did have one more, but it really didn't matter too much. The Arkansas-Oklahoma game. I was interested to hear what you guys had to say about that one. Is this don't overthink it and bet Oklahoma?
Justin, did you look at that game? I'll let you know what my notes are, Justin.
Yeah, I did. And it's funny. It's funny that all the games that he mentioned, this is the one. I used the free bet. I had a $55 free bet, and I used it on Oklahoma money line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's a good bet.
And because it was a free bet, I really didn't cap it. I just looked at Oklahoma like, damn, I just can't win. Arkansas on the road, this line seemed trappy. It's a $55 free bet. I'm gonna put it on the money line. Give me the Sooners, and it's funny. Even though I didn't cap it, I was almost that confident to make it official. But I was like, no, I didn't know if I don't want to give out nothing that I didn't bet.
Right.
And I didn't know if a free bet counted as a bet. So that's the only reason
Oklahoma's not bad offensively. That's the only reason why I kind of lean towards them in this game. If this is just going to be a shootout game, why can't they win?
I think they will win.
My note on this one is, I guess, lean Oklahoma. Arkansas better, but Oklahoma does seem to be fighting, and Arkansas has some weird road issues that may or may not show up here. So this is a pass for me, but I'm definitely rooting for Oklahoma, hoping you cash. If I had a free bet on this game, it would be on Oklahoma for sure.
Just for the record, I bet it. I used a $55 free bet on Oklahoma money line, but the money line is in my 10-leg parlay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my 10-leg parlay don't always be favorites.
And here you go. AM says, bet against Vandy. You definitely didn't practice with no electricity this week. All right. Let's Justin McKelvey, what we talked about a whole bunch of these games. What games do you want to single out as games you're
he didn't target none of my 3 games.
Okay.
I don't have the order in front of me, so I'll start with oh yeah, I do have them. Pitt and Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this game to go. I think I sent this to Jose. This is official. I got the over 148.5. And I look at it like 6 of the last 8 meetings between these teams that went over. Wake Forest is 5-2 to the over as an underdog. Pitt is 6 out of the last 8 home. 6 out of the last 7 games home is to the over. And I might go to this game. I'm contemplating it. The only reason that's stopping my son has tickets, and only catch is I have to drive. And I don't mind driving, but I live like 7 minutes away from it. But I have to go pick him up, and he lives 45 minutes away from me. So which means I have to make a 45-minute trip before and after the game. So that don't interest me. But I love this over.
Fuck it though, Stacks. It's for the love of the game that you do this for, that person in your family, because they might not have the same opportunity, or it might not hit the same to them. Sometimes as a sports gambler, I think the best way to advance yourself mentally is by being with the public kind. Somebody that isn't going to tell you about the betting splits or some shit like that. Sometimes you just need somebody there that's just going to shut their fucking mouth and watch the game.
Listen. And I say this respectfully, and I tell him this all the time. Respectfully. Man, fuck my son. And I mean that. Like, he do too much. He's 24 years old. He got 2 kids. Like, you want to give your chuck to your girl to go out with the girls instead of going to the game. So I got to drive 45 minutes before and after. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not even a Pitt fan. He's the Pitt fan. I'm not
for the love of the game, man. It's for the love of the game.
And I don't have a license. And my windows are illegal.
Never mind then. You gotta start that off the statement with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and nobody bothers me, but to do all that, if something happened, I got pulled over. The bullshit that's going to be behind it. To go to a Pitt game.
All right. Well, this game, as far as the total is concerned, absolutely no movement. Pitt was a small favorite to start, and now it appears to have gone in Wake Forest favor. So both these teams have been terrible ATS recently. I'm not going to give anything official here, but
This
go ahead.
my fault. I got sidetracked talking about this game because I really do want to go. But if I would have got to this game before any of my plays, this would have been my stacks play today. This is like my favorite play on the board. Pitt and Wake Forest over. Especially like back in the day, it's not called that no more officially, but they used to call Pitt the Zoo. Anybody who's from this area with swig bets probably know about it. Anybody from this area should know, like, when you come to the zoo, it's a hard place to win. And this year don't apply for it. But for some reason, when you play in Pitt, these games, like ACC games, they tend to go over. I love this over. I just didn't get to it. I posted my stacks earlier because I got up earlier. I got up like 1. And I posted stacks like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 in the morning. But this was a late edition. When I got to it, I'm like, damn. But this is my favorite bet of the board. As Jimmy would say, this is my bet of the board, favorite bet of the board.
Okay. I'll be monitoring it pretty closely. And where is it? Nicholas Jubinski took Wake money line. All right. What else, Justin McKelvey, do you want to identify here?
I'm right with Spoon. I'm with on Purdue and Indiana. I love this spot. This is Stacks Play Today, number 2. Yeah, Stacks Play Today, number 2. Purdue -4.5. Post this early in this morning. And I got a whole bunch of reasons. I didn't even have to write them all down. My logic is Indiana, they beat these boys last year by 15. And this Purdue team last year was better than this team. In my opinion, last year was better than this team. It was a major upset, but you still got a lot of veterans that are still there on this Purdue team. They're just coming off of back-to-back losses. Indiana coming off of a win. But prior to that, before they jumped on Rutgers, they lost like 4 straight. I was on Rutgers when they played them, and they smacked them. Now they're back at home. This is the perfect spot in the revenge game to play this Purdue team. Indiana, I promise you, they're not like that. I feel like this spread is just on recency bias. Purdue off of 2 games. They lost to Illinois and who was it, UCLA. And now they're playing this Indiana team that just blew out Rutgers. I think this line's way off. And the main thing is about Purdue is I feel like that Purdue, they had like an outlier. Both games they played, they could have won both of them games. I felt like it was Payne's fault that the reason why they didn't, the way they play their games is like, I feel like they try to target a certain aspect of the game to stop it. And back-to-back losses, Coach Painter on the road, 15-point loss revenge. Oh, yeah, I love this spot. And I got a good number. Well, I ain't get the best number, but I got 4.5 minus. I don't know. I got to check Twitter.
All right, yeah, it does
minus 112. My fault.
Heading in Purdue's favor, and yeah, Purdue now off 2 straight up losses, and Indiana off of 2 nice road covers, now back home. A lot of people liking Purdue, and that might be a really nice play. I might tail that. I'll have to think about it. Justin McKelvey, what else do you want to tell us about?
My last official was Alabama and Missouri. And my whole thought, that starts playing number 1. And I've been doing this for years. I want to say like 2 years. Well, was that last year? No. Ever since Brandon Miller was on the team, when they had that homicide, little gun beef going on. So this might be the 3rd year. Alabama off a loss, but mainly off a loss when they're at home. This year, to this number I got over 87.5. Alabama is 5-0 just this year alone off a loss of this number. They've never scored less than this off a loss, whether they've been on the home or the road. They're coming off this home loss where they was favored to Tennessee. I just think they're going to put up a big number. This Missouri team, I think they're average, maybe below average, but they don't play no D. They're susceptible to the 3 points. That's all Alabama do. And I think this is going to be, I don't know if he's in the chat. I can't see the chat. But I feel like this is the Matty Ice spot. And I don't know if you're familiar with it, but he made it famous. Sure. And I bet it, but I feel like this is the prime. If he's in there, you can tell me if it is or not. But Alabama team total, Alabama spread. I feel like this is the Matty Ice spot of the day. So I'm not on the spread, but I'm on the team total. That's play today, number 1.
High total. Alabama very up and down, coming off a home loss to Tennessee and Missouri. They can be good. Lost the last 3 ATS, and again, a very high total. And I think you might be right. Win or lose.
And I'm actually going to the
Yeah.
window. I'm gonna go to Rivers Casino, like 5 minutes away. I'm going to the window about this team total.
Okay. And a lot of stuff in here. Rob Freebands likes Purdue first half. Rez Mob likes the Purdue game first half under. And people are talking about NHL, which we got to get to pretty quickly. All right, Justin, those are the 3 games that you wanted to identify. Let me just go down the card and make sure that there's nothing that I want. Yeah, Wake Forest Pitt, very, very interesting. Wake Forest is it's now Pick'em, so maybe Wake is the play. Michigan State,
Pete,
Rutgers. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you that. What you think about Rutgers with 14.5 at the rack?
I mean, Michigan State, of course, this is a Tom Izzo team. There's these coaches, Shaka Smart, Tom Izzo. I mean, they have good reads on them. Now, Izzo has a hand this year, and Michigan State is really freaking covering, but they have Michigan on deck, right? Rutgers off a bad loss to Indiana, but they had covered 5 of 6 before that. Michigan State just beat Maryland by 40. Oh, man, I want to take Rutgers here so bad, but I just don't know if I can.
That's what I want to ask you. Like this not a Rutgers spot. Like
it is.
It's like the perfect spot of spots. Rutgers lose by a bunch to an average. What I just told you, an average Indiana team. Michigan State win by a bunch. Got Michigan on deck. Michigan got Nebraska. This don't just seem like a 9 or 8 point win by Michigan State.
Yeah. I really would love. It's just so hard to bet against an Izzo team when he's got like a bunch of guys who are winning and covering. But yeah, I really would love to take Rutgers here. Maybe first
14
half
at the rack. That's a lot.
It really is. I
That's a whole lot.
I know.
Especially
again, Michigan State.
Now, if Michigan State was coming off a loss, or if Rutgers was coming off a big win, it'd be different. But you got Michigan State coming off taking a team out back. You got Rutgers coming off of going out back. Michigan on deck for Michigan State. I don't know. I got them. I want to bet them, but I needed a little push to it. But
yeah, I'm on the edge about betting it. I mean, I almost certainly will bet it. I don't know if I wanted to give it official though. One thing I will give official, Justin McKelvey, I will give Syracuse first half at NC State. Syracuse off of 3 straight up and not really close ATS losses. NC State, a good team off of 2 nice road wins. Now they're back home. There might be some issues with NC State. Their last 2 home games with 2 huge margin ATS losses, and NC State is laying a big number. Add it all up, I'm definitely going to take Syracuse first half. Possible that they could fade later, but I'll make that an official play right there. Let's see what line are we going to get here. I get 6 minus 115. I'll make that official. Syracuse first half plus 6 minus 115. That will be an official play for me. Let's see, and then let me see what else do I got here. Scanning down. Providence, UConn. Sorry, go ahead.
I kind of like Dayton. Dayton minus. I didn't bet it yet. I was looking at Dayton minus 8. They play Rhode Island, and I just feel like that this is a good spot for Dayton. I don't think Rhode Island is just. I don't think they suck, but I just think with Dayton coming off these losses back at home, I think it's a good spot for them.
One I did not look at in depth enough to comment on, but I'll definitely be rooting for you there. Providence.
Oh no, I didn't bet it. It's just something that I like.
Okay. Providence and UConn is a very interesting one, right? UConn rolling, but here you go again. UConn 6-0 straight up last 6 games. Lost all of them ATS, just like Michigan, just like some other teams we know. So UConn, they needed OT in their last game to beat Villanova as a double-digit home fave. They're laying a big number here against Providence. They played once early this year at Providence, and it went to OT. So maybe that will make light a little fire under UConn, make them a little bit worried about it. But it's a big number. Would love to take a shot with Providence, but I don't know if I can. Scanning down. Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech is interesting. Georgia Tech very up and down off a double-digit home loss to Clemson. They're a big home dog on that one, but still, I was thinking about maybe Georgia Tech getting all those points, but that's just what I'm thinking about.
I didn't look at that game. I said I didn't look at that game.
Yeah. Let me see. Yep, there you go. The Purdue game. Decision made for me. People liking Purdue. Just scanning down the card here, making sure there's nothing. And yeah, there Creighton Marquette. People thinking this might be finally a spot for Marquette to get a cover. I mean, Creighton's been bad recently as well. 4 straight margin ATS losses for Creighton. So at least past bunch of games, Creighton has been as bad as Marquette ATS.
Can't do it. I'm off Marquette. I'm cool. It'll be a long
one college. Go ahead.
Be a long time before I bet Marquette ever again. It won't be this year.
I mean, things change so fast year to year. And, when Shaka Smart's in like a mid-major that's a little off the radar, or when he has an unusually good recruiting class. See, I didn't like him when he was at Texas, because Texas is just a program where if they've got anything, they get overvalued quickly. But
when you're down I'm like minus 4 something units betting on this Marquette team. I'm cool.
Yeah.
I should have listened to Spoon a long time ago. Now, to hear him say he like Marquette today, I'm not betting. I'm cool. I don't care who like Marquette. Maybe it's me. Maybe if I don't bet them, they'll win. So I'm cool. I won't mush y'all.
All right. And you know what? It makes me nervous. I'm scared, but I will take it. I will take Rutgers, now 16 minus 112. I'll add that one on officially. Sure. Why not? Rutgers plus 16 minus 112. I'll make that official. So I got 2 plays here officially for college hoops. Syracuse first half plus 6 minus 115, and Rutgers full game plus 16 minus 112. Let's look at anyone in the comments section made any last second. Res Mob likes first half under in the Providence game. Except Providence is very high scoring. UConn is low scoring at home, of course, but Providence very high scoring in general. I did think about that. And Res Mob likes the first half under in Michigan State. Play of the day. That's a very low total, but yeah. Rutgers certain to slow it down, and Michigan State will probably be amenable to that. All right. That's it for college basketball. Do we miss anything, Justin?
No, I'm enjoying you with Rutgers, though.
Yep. All right. Okay. I hope we cash. Entirely possible. That,
hold up. Real quick before I get out of there, I got to be to 2 o'clock. I told you, I'm starting to like this hockey. Last week, I gave y'all a hockey pick, and I don't remember who they was playing, but it was a Lightning over, and it did not cash. But I gave a hockey play yesterday on Medicaid. Gave out Edmonton Oilers and the Ducks over 7, and it cashed.
Okay. I didn't look at that.
And I got one more to go since I'm not going to be on there. Then I got your way, Pete.
Yeah,
Vegas Knights, Montreal Canadiens over 6.5 official play.
That certainly makes a lot of sense. They've both been very high scoring, and I certainly can understand that. We'll talk about that with Mr. Gogster. All right, Justin McKelvey, so great to do another show with you. We'll see you again next Tuesday. All right, and now we've got a big NHL card, and I got to get the hell out of here because of all the soccer stuff that I'm doing. Hopefully I won't fall too far behind. Everyone, welcome to the show, Mr. Gogster. Mr. Gogster, there he is. Where is he? There he is. Sight for sore eyes. All right, Mr. Gogster, we got to keep a little bit of a brisk pace, but we're going to have a good time with it, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it right, and we're going to do it well. All right, NHL. Let me just get my notes here, and we'll start. Here we go, college troops, all this shit, scanning. All right, ready, Gogster?
Let's do it, buddy.
First game, Nashville-Boston. Nashville very up and down. They're off a 3-goal home loss to Utah, but they have good games and bad games. And Boston, of course, a revelation this year. They are on a back-to-back. They lost to the Rangers in OT yesterday, but of course, before that, mostly winning. So this is tough. I think I'm going to pass here. Don't really know about the total either. Free play, I guess. Maybe Boston first period off of the loss, back-to-back. Boston, of course, great at home. And it's like a minus 110 on both sides where it opened. And Nashville's a little bit of a tough team to fade, but I guess lean Boston first period. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the goals here, short and sweet, Pete. This team, both teams have actually been trending to the over. Power plays 38% for Boston, 25% for Nashville. Penalty kills are shite. And then also you got Swayman going. He's got an 8.95 save percentage in the month of January, 8.89 for Saros. Advantage you'd say towards Swayman based on his home numbers there, Pete. But yeah, I think there's going to be some goals here, some little trends for you guys here. 8-2, Nashville are to the over in the first period, Pete, on the road. And then Boston, the last 10 games at home, 7-3 to the over. So This just feels like an over game, and I liked Justin's play there with Vegas and the Canadians. I like the over in this game here as well. Yeah, Pete, first period, both teams to score plus 150. You could also take the over 1.5, just trying to get better juice on this one. And then both teams to score 3 goals. Nashville pretty much healthy too, just Hags out, defenseman, and then Zadorov. That's a big player actually for the Bruins there to see if Zadorov is going to be in, because if he's not in, I would be leaning more towards Nashville. Just that is a big key player for this for Boston here. So I'm just quickly trying to scroll. I'm not seeing anything, but with no Zadorov, Pete, that would hurt a little bit of Boston's chances, I think, in this game.
Okay, almost no movement on this game as well. So I'm going to pass on this one. Next game, here we go. Buffalo, Toronto. Buffalo, last game of their road trip. They're playing great, right? The first game of the road trip, close loss to Carolina, and then they won the next 3 in a row impressively. And this is the last one. Leafs, of course, struggling at home right now. Lost 4 in a row on their current homestand. They were against good teams, but still, and you'd have to count Buffalo right now as a good team. But then when you look into the research on this one, apparently the Toronto in their locker room, the coach and the top players are having meetings and talking about what they're going to do and this and that. So I was thinking, Buffalo's great and Toronto, I guess they suck. Maybe Toronto first period. That's what I was thinking about. And I was thinking, is Toronto going to D up here? Because Buffalo can hold teams down as well. I don't know. Thinking maybe about an under, but more so Toronto first period. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of lean towards Toronto there. It's tough to trust Toronto, though, Pete. Nylander actually gave the finger. The camera was on him there, gave the middle finger to the camera there. Well, he was in Toronto, wasn't in the game. So I guess he's got fined or something happened. We had to apologize. So just stupid stuff happened in Toronto, left, right, and center. Sabres are playing well, though. 8-3-1 last 11 games there in the month of January, plus 14 goal differential. They're missing some players here, Pete, but could get Norris back, one of the top 2 centermen, Josh Norris. So that would help Buffalo here. I lean towards Buffalo. Going to be a no play for me here, Pete. It's going to be Wall and net. Stolars is not going to go. So I would like this. I would like Toronto's chances more with Wall being in net. He's 7-2-2 at home. And then the other side of things, Leon, or Lion, as people call him, he's 7-3-1 on the road. So with the goaltending matchup, I would possibly lean towards an under here. Not confirmed though on the Sabres. I also saw Lukokkinen could also be possibly a net. If that's the case, advantage goaltending wise would be with Toronto. But right now, I think it's a wash. 2 good goaltending, 2 good goalies right there, and I lean towards Buffalo, but couldn't pull the trigger, Pete.
All right, I'm going to take a shot with it. Toronto's got to get something together. At least first period. I'm taking Toronto first period money line, minus 110. All right, that's an official play right there. All right, let's move on. Next game, here we go, Vegas, Montreal. Justin McKelvey likes the over. Vegas is off a bad blowout loss at Ottawa. They had a run of wins, and now they've lost a few. Montreal, they're good, but now they've lost 2 in a row and 4 of 6. Vegas should be pretty pissed. But Montreal's also lost 2 in a row as well, and they're a good team. I don't know. I have nothing on this one. Total pass. Just because it's so both these teams should be salty and they're good. I don't really want to fade either one of them.
Yeah, we should see fireworks though still, Pete. Dobish is going to go there for the Canadians, not Montembeault, which he is 3-0 at home. In January, but he's got an .838 save percentage. Like, that's just Montreal scoring goals for them to win these games. And then Aiden Hill on the other side of things, he's on an .825 in the month of January. And also he's had 3 games since his injury, .833 save percentage. So, that's on the road. There's got to be some goals here. That was an awful loss too. Should have been 7-0. Got a late one, I believe it was there. Vegas did against Ottawa. But the goals there, Pete, they 8 goals against Ottawa, 9 in the Toronto game, 7 in Boston. Philly was 3, but then before that, Nashville 9, Toronto 11. So there's definitely no shortage of goals with Vegas games. On the other side of things, Montreal's really doing the same thing. 5 of the last 7 have gone over for Montreal as well. So this should be a back and forth game here. Both teams are scoring. And also the old first period stats here, similar to that Predators Bruins game, Pete. Both teams are 7-3 to the over in the first period. That's at home for Montreal and on the road for Vegas. So that's the last 10 games. So everything's just trending to the over. I like what Justin's saying. I'm going again, first period, both teams score plus 150, and then both teams score 3 goals plus 150.
Okay, sounds good. Game scares me a little bit just because both teams should be salty. But all right, Justin and Gogi both liking goals. Here we go. Next game. This is interesting. You tell me, Justin, Mr. Gogster. LA and Detroit, right? LA, they're off of 2 close wins and a big favorite, but in general, this team is not good. You know, my overall handicapping approach is sucks and is awesome, and then you got teams in the middle. LA basically sucks, right? Am I wrong, or are they in the middle?
I hear worried about their scoring. They just can't score right now. They don't have guys shooting the puck enough, and that's a worry against, I think, a team like Detroit. So
yeah. All right, and Detroit, you know, they're back off of a 3-game home trip. In general, mostly winning. I guess I wouldn't rate them as awesome, but they're definitely on the awesome side of in the middle. And it's a very low line. I know they're coming back off of a 3-game trip. But you know, and I know that the Red Wings also have that defenseman who's going to be out. A very low line though. I was thinking Detroit at like minus 130 or so. What do you think, Gogi?
And it's dropping too, Pete. It's going towards LA. So this could be one of the trap games here, possibly. The game was canceled last night because of weather. Kings were supposed to have a back-to-back in Columbus, got canceled. So they've played 1 game, Pete, and this would be their 2nd game in the last week. It would be 4 games in the last week for Detroit. So scheduling spot could be advantage to the Kings here. Going to have Kemper instead of Forsberg. You know what? Forsberg has been solid, actually. He had a 2-1-1, 934 in January. But Red Wings are just a hot team right now. Like Gibson's 8-1, Pete, in January with a 937. He's going to have to come back down to earth for sure. 11-5-1 with an 877 at home. So it's going to be a no play. I'd lean towards the Kings, but I'm worried about the scoring still. So could be an under game here. Maybe more I'm thinking about. It's tough to take an under with Detroit, though. There's a lot of guys in the chat probably know. But Kopitar's day-to-day, Edmondson defenseman's day-to-day, and also Turcotte centerman. So a couple of guys also could be out for the Kings, and they're not scoring. It feels like it would be an under game here, more I'm looking at it, especially if it's 5.5 too. That's a pretty low total for Detroit. So I lean towards the under, but going to be a no play, Pete.
Yeah, I'm not going to take Detroit now. The line has moved in LA's favor and also has moved towards the under pretty significantly. That's a pretty significant move there, actually.
And it's 5.5, which you don't see a lot these days. So I do get why it's just the Kings can't score right now, man. And Gibson's just playing unbelievable. Penalty kills are bad. I think whoever gets more power plays in this game has a good chance just based on how bad the penalty kills have been in January. So feels like an under game though. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. I'm thinking about this. I might add that on. I wasn't considering it, but I'm thinking about it. Right. Next game on the card, Utah, Florida. Utah, they're on a back-to-back. They got shut out at Tampa Bay yesterday, but before that, they were playing great. And Florida, you know, in general, a very good team. They're back home after a 3-game trip. They won all 3. And I was, you know, Florida is a decent-sized favorite here. I was thinking about Utah first period, but I think Vanacek's in goal for Utah, isn't he? And he really sucks, doesn't he?
Yeah, he could be better. Yeah, his numbers are bad, but I like what you're thinking here, Pete. I love where you're going with this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the line has moved a bit in Utah's about a 15-cent move or so in Utah's favor. I really don't want to fade Florida full game because they're just a quality team that fights back in this and that. I'm thinking about Utah first period, and I was also thinking about maybe the over because Bobrovsky, he can get scored on. And if Vanacek's in goal for Utah, right?
Yeah, it looks like Vanacek back-to-back last night was Vejmelka, so yeah.
He does suck, though. All right, that's what I'm thinking. Utah, first period, maybe over, and maybe Utah team total over. And the line that I saw was, the line has moved. Totals moved, decent total, 6 over minus 124. So what'd you take on this one?
I'm in agreement with everything you're saying there, Pete. I wouldn't say they had a bad game, even Utah against Tampa. They played great. I watched some of that game yesterday. Vasilevsky played unbelievable. It was 0-0 halfway through the third period, I believe. And then finally Tampa Bay got one, then an empty netter. So Utah, definitely, they're one of the hotter teams in the NHL right now. 9, would that be 2-1 in their last 11, you could say. But they're plus 19 goal differential. If Panthers are a minus 11, they're going to start getting it going. They have actually Florida. They've been playing pretty decent, but when they have lost, Pete, 9-1 to Carolina, 4-1 to San Jose. I just think in the spot here, I agree with what you're saying, where the full game is going to be tough. I think they played really good against Tampa Bay, and they're going to be able to carry that forward against a goalie who's not nearly as strong with Bobrovsky's numbers. January, 828 save percentage for Bobrovsky in January. That's bad. And then he's got an 875 at home. On the other side of things, you're right with Vanacek. He's 1-8-1 on the road with an 877. I would agree there with the goals. I didn't take like a bold team to score 3. Total is 6 going to the over. So I would lean to the over, but I'm with the plus money, plus 120 on Utah first period, Pete. I fired on that one.
All right. I will definitely add Utah to score in the first period at minus 148. I might add on the full game over. I might add on Utah first period as well. Not sure how many bets I want to make on this game, but and Nut Flush 16 says, look at the Utah team total over. Well, I already just took the Utah first period team total over. Definitely thinking about the full game at 2.5 minus 140 or so, right? Shout out to Nut Flush Allen.
Great comment there. I would agree with that. I would just worry about the back-to-back and being the Panthers. It's tough for teams to play back-to-back in Florida. Tampa Bay and Florida, that is. So, but yeah, first period, love it. And even Mammoth, they're scoring goals, so that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, I will. I'll probably add on 1 or 2, maybe 3 more bets to this game. For now, just Utah's going to the first period. Next game on the card: Winnipeg, New Jersey. Winnipeg lost 2 in a row, now 4 or 5. Now they're back to losing, and New Jersey back home after a 4-game trip. Won their first 3, lost the last one. Both these teams a little bit iffy offensively. New Jersey was a very small home favorite to start, and I was thinking about under 6 minus 120 or so from the opening line. What do you think about this one? Two teams have a little bit of, aside from that they both can be bad offensively, have a tough time reading them right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The one thing I noticed, though, this was the stat I noticed in this game, the Jets are insane in the first period. They're coming off 2 losses, too, where they've scored 1 goal. I think it was like 16 goals in the first in the month of January, and only 3 against. That's a plus 13 goal differential just in the first period of the month of January. So I think the first period, I did both guys, first period plus 100 and money line plus 105. This Devils team, though, Pete, every show, this team has had my goddamn number. So I'm going against them this time. I'm not trusting them. Hellebuck, he's actually okay. He's got a 6-8-1 record on the road, but a 907 save percentage. Allen, too, in the month of January, 883, 1-3. Team just isn't playing that well. They don't have depth, Pete. That's the big problem, I think. Noson's out, McEwen, McLaughlin, too. Hughes, there's a big piece there on defense. Jets are missing 3 players on defense, but back to the Devils there. They just don't have a lot of depth right now in their scoring, where the Jets, they do. Coming off 2 bad losses, too. They need to start stringing some wins together. Both these teams have been falling a little bit. I trust the Jets in this situation. Double up spot, Pete, on Winnipeg.
Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at some things here. Yeah, I have my not sure at all if I want Winnipeg first period or let's see what the comment section is saying here. Yeah. Nothing really on this one. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card: Dallas St. Louis. Dallas beat St. Louis 3-2 in their last game at home. And St. Louis had a game in between there. Dallas has won 2 of 3. They've been bad before that, and they're just a team that, they have talent, but there's something off with that team. Have they turned it around? I'm not sure. And St. Louis, shitty team, but they're much less shitty at home, right? They're actually 7-3 in their last 10 at home before the LA loss. Not sure about the totals or the team totals, but at like plus 140, I was thinking St. Louis worth a shot. What do you think?
I just think that they can't score really, Pete. They got 4 against LA last game, but I was looking before that. You got to search for the last time they really scored like 4 goals to get a convincing win. A lot of these games for St. Louis, they're just not scoring, and that's because Holloway day-to-day is still not going to play. Thomas is out, Svanquist, Sutter. You got at least all those players are at least top 3 forwards. So minus 10, you're going to have Binnington in net as well. 1-4, 864 save percentage. Hasn't been strong. Better goalie at home, but Dallas is a team I do trust a lot more. They just have more offense, Pete, especially their top 2 lines. I think it's strong enough to get the win here tonight. Didn't want to do regulation. Just weird gut feel on that one. Went with the money line and then the team total under 3.5 for St. Louis at -130. If Dallas get this win, I do not see St. Louis scoring over 4 goals. Ottinger, his numbers could be better in January, but he is 9-5 on the road with a .901 save percentage. Is the better goalie between him and Binner. All the numbers are telling me to take the Stars too, and I do trust Dallas in this situation. Coming off a win, but just haven't strung a lot of wins together. I think it's a good spot with a banged up St. Louis team that's just not very good.
Yeah, but they have been winning at home, and they've beaten some good teams. Carolina, Tampa Bay, Montreal, Vegas.
Yeah. You're right. It's been a while. They've had quite a bit of games there that have been on the road. But even so, Pete, I just don't trust them with the makeup they got. When I look at the lines there, I just don't trust St. Louis. Binner should be better at home here, but until they get kind of their mainstay back, I don't trust them here.
All right, well, I am going to take St. Louis first period money line. First period. Why you don't like that? Why?
No, I hear you. It's maybe the bounce back spot. I 60 minutes. I do like the Stars. I don't think necessarily Stars first period. I just think 60 minutes here. It's I got the better goalie and the better team here. Simple as that.
I might double up. I might take St. Louis full game as well, because this could easily be a 0-0 first period and then together. But I'll take at least St. Louis first period plus 122. Mm-hmm. And Nutflush says, I caught some talk on the offense has to light a fire for Jets. Oh, so Nutflush and AM likes to look. Stars have been so bad. Blues have played their better hockey at home. And Nutflush thinks that there might be some research that will indicate that the Jets will get a fire lit under them offensively, maybe.
I agree.
AM says it's on Canadians and Jets today, if anyone cares.
Canadians and Jets. I like that. I like that. Montreal's a tough team to beat at home, so I like that.
All right, I got to think about what plays I'm going to add on. Next game, you ready? Chicago, Minnesota. Minnesota, of course, huge favorite. Chicago lost 2 straight at home. But again, they might be much less bad on the road. 4-0, their last 4 road games. Of course, those were all split up. All as a massive dog, winning on the road and losing at home over the past, bunch of weeks. Minnesota split their last 2 home games. Both went to OT, both against tough opponents. But they're a huge favorite here. Teravainen back for Chicago. Matt Boldy back for Minnesota. Adding everything up and all things being equal, of course, Minnesota's way better. But you're laying a huge line here. And I was thinking maybe Chicago first period goal, Chicago team total over, something like that. What do you think, Gogi?
I don't mind. I can't believe how many overs this Minnesota team's been playing to ever since they got really Jack Hughes. 9 of the last 10 have gone over the total, not even close. Yeah. Chicago, this is going to short and sweet for me. It's a no play, Pete. The goaltending's been solid, surprise. This is what gets me is Knight. He's 5-3 in January with a .915 save percentage, 6-6-2 with a .911 on the road. So, it just tells me they've been a lot of lower scoring games when the Blackhawks do go on the road. I just don't know if they're going to get the win here against a team in Minnesota that is trending towards the over. It's going to be Wallstedt too. 1-3-1. The guys came back down to earth since all those shutouts. 858 save percentage. Going to have a better showing, I think, here at home. But without humming and hawing too much about this one, Pistol, it's going to be a no play. But I do think it's going to be a lower win for the Minnesota Wild tonight. If I had to make a prediction here.
Meantime, there has been a massive 40-cent move in favor of Chicago, which is not a shock, but since the line started off so high.
Yeah, I don't see. Wallstedt was confirmed. He has been quite. He hasn't been as good. They have been getting a lot more of their wins with Gustafsson. His save percentage has been almost 90% compared to 850. So goaltending wise, that could have something to do with it. But I don't see any injuries. It's just Bogosian and Brodin are out. So.
Yeah. All right. I will definitely take Chicago to score in the first period -130. I'll take that one. Thinking about their team total over 2.5, it's just like -110 or so. And maybe the first period money line as well.
I wouldn't talk you off it. I don't have a real good feel on this game, Pete. Like it's not one I circled. It's actually a thing I got a blank, so it's one I almost kind of just looked over. I just didn't have a good feel for this one. And like I said, Knight's numbers have been. He's not a shiny goalie. He's half decent. So I'm kind of confused in this game.
And Minnesota used to be a very defense oriented team, but they're giving it up right now, right?
Well, I think since Minnesota, like getting Hughes, I feel like he's such an offensive defenseman. Well, like he can do both, but like he moves the puck so well. So I'm just surprised. Looks like they haven't really figured out their whole defensive mindset on the back end because they have no problem scoring and they have 2 good goalies. So I would think long term they're going to start leading towards some unders here in Minnesota.
All right, next game on the card is San Jose, Vancouver. San Jose very up and down. Alternating wins and losses recently. They're off a home win and long rest, but Vancouver almost can't buy a win. Last 14 games, 1 win, 13 losses, and yet the opening line was close to even money for Vancouver.
Yeah.
And so San Jose, of course, they're a flawed team. They're far from elite, far from the top. But how in the hell can Vancouver be almost even money, even at home, even against a team that's not even another shitty team?
Well,
Go ahead.
I was sorry to cut you off. I was just going to say they're not getting the depth scoring really. It's Celebrini and everyone else. The shot totals are down because Celebrini's had like over 40 shots in the month of January. That's quite a bit for anybody on any team. But then you're getting like a couple guys in the 20s. Like I don't think I saw a guy in the 30s. It's just the secondary scoring has not really been there. Khrushchev, centerman's out. That guy is really a top 2 forward. Kiefer Sherwood, they picked him up from the Canucks. He's not playing though. Delandria, centerman, he's not in. Then Muka, defenseman, he's also out. But the Canucks are just, they're very, very banged up here. Goaltending wise too, Lankinen's been bad, man. Like, he's 1-6-1 in January, 2-11-2 at home. Just on the other side of things, Askarov's not really a goalie I trust, Pete. He 836 save percentage in January, 866 on the road. He's not really a goalie I trust. I think he's an AHL goalie, really, Askarov. Love you, buddy, but I just don't think he's all there. I just don't think he's the speed of the game. He's not getting better. He's getting worse, which is a sign he probably has to go back down to the AHL. Lankinen, he's not much better. Really, Demko's really the number one where you're going to trust. This team's been really bad. The thing about Celebrini, what's probably the play is Celebrini take his overshots 3.5, him to get a point because that's just who's been really scoring. And he's from North Vancouver, Pete. So this is a home game. A lot of friends and family are going to be in attendance for this game. They did play in Vancouver. They won 6-3. Quickly here, what did Celebrini do? 8 shots on goal with 2 points. So more I'm thinking about, I probably should have just looked at Celebrini, like over 3.5 shots. If it's like close to 110, probably going to be juiced more than that. But Celebrini definitely should be all over the ice tonight. And this against a weak Vancouver team. So I'd be looking at player props in this game.
Well, the line has moved a little bit in San Jose's favor, not a shock. And also the 6.5 has moved to the over, a pretty big move.
That's how bad the goaltending is, man. That's it. Like the goaltending is really bad. Like a lot of these numbers you're going to see are against better goaltending, and like the goaltending is pretty bad here. So I wouldn't be on an under. I wouldn't feel confident on an under. That's for sure.
That's just such a shock. I mean, does Vancouver have the offense to warrant a total like this and give their part?
And well, San Jose can get 4 or 5 themselves. Just they have a 50%, I think it was 54% power penalty kill. Vancouver does in the month of January. It's been really bad. So I'm just trying to bring up quickly here Vancouver just to see the depth. Like Abbotsford's been hurting the AHL team. They picked up Drew O'Connor second line, but Garland's on the third. And then I just went through too. I was looking at some stats for points in January. They're really not scoring. And then like I said, other than Celebrini, there's not a lot of guys producing for San Jose. It's a weird one, bit of a quagmire in this one here. I don't really know what to come out of it other than just Celebrini's going to light it up being from Vancouver.
All right. Well, the last game on the card was something that I liked, and it has moved in my favor. Washington, Seattle. Seattle opened as a decent sized home dog, which I didn't quite understand. They're a decent team. They have their bad games. They're but as decent NHL teams will do. But they're on their current homestand, off a win against New Jersey and Washington. They're off of two nice games, a win at Calgary and then an OT game at Edmonton. But in general, they mostly suck, have a hard time winning, and I didn't understand why Washington would be a favorite like that. I liked Seattle at like plus 125, and now there's been about a 15-cent move in their favor. They're still a dog, but down to about plus 110 or so. What do you think?
Yeah, Washington here. I'm going to look at them in the first period, Pete. They've had quite a bit of rest here. They're coming off that 5-4 loss at Edmonton. Thompson wasn't in net. This guy is one of the better goalies in the NHL of late. 3-5-1 this month. So they've been losing games, but he's got a 9-10 save percentage. So that's positive despite that record. 9-15 on the road, but on the other side of things, Grubauer's got a 930 save percentage at home. So it should be a lower scoring game, but I think this team's big enough. They're getting more scoring too. And I think Pierre-Luc Dubois has been skating, which is going to be a boost for this team long-term once he comes back. I don't think he's going to be back tonight, Pete, but he should be back soon. Sandin day-to-day, I got a little banged up in that last game, but I do like the Capitals in this game. First period, too, on the road, they're 4-1-5. So they've only lost once, Pete. They've only been down once in the last 10 games on the road, and I think we got a good spot here with your number one goalie coming off of I believe he came off of a loss, too. Yeah, they have been winning, too. They've been really underperforming. I think Washington, I wouldn't even talk you off a full game here, guys. I took Safeway just minus 130 on the first period money line with the Capitals tonight, but I think they get her done. I do.
So you don't like Seattle, huh? You think that maybe Washington turned a little bit of a corner recently with their two.
I think so. It's just more so the getting a goalie with that rest. He's underperformed a little bit, but really it's been the production. This is what it was. The production of the youth for Washington, Sandriff, I'm butchering his name, number 17 for them, McMichael, Ethan Frank. Like the young players are putting up points, shooting the puck. Like they got plenty of offense, and I'm surprised that they haven't won as much as they had based on kind of the production they're getting from their team. So I think they're going to start winning some games. On the other side of things, Seattle's they're decent. They have been playing all right. But when they lose, like they're allowing at least 3 goals, and a lot of their games they're going to lose. And I think this is a spot where Washington's going to be hungry enough. Washington team total over 3.5, 2.5. I don't mind as well. Probably going to be juiced. But yeah, I think Washington's in a good spot tonight, people.
Yeah. The line, this feels like one of those lines where the advanced guys actually know something is why they make them that. And, I understand why the line would get bet down. AM says Capitals are pissed and rested. Eileen Kraken at this line, though. And the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day is San Jose. And I will add on San Jose first period money line minus 117. So maybe I'll add some other stuff, but as of right now, I've made 5 official plays. Toronto, first period minus 110. Utah, first period goal minus 148. St. Louis, first period plus 122. Chicago Blackhawks, first period goal minus 130. And San Jose Sharks, first period money line minus 117. Maybe I'll add something on, maybe not. Mr. Gokster, please review your official plays. Thanks very much.
All righty, Pete. Great show as always, buddy. Washington first period money line. I'm in agreement with a lot of people in the chat. I think they're going to bounce back early there. Minus 130. I'm going to go reverse order here. Dallas, St. Louis. I'm on the Stars money line. Team total under St. Louis 3.5. Tie those two together. Minus 130 as well. Better juice with these last few. Nashville Bruins. Predators Bruins first period both teams to score plus 150, and then both teams to score 3 goals plus 170. I'm on the Jets tonight, first period, and on the money line plus 100, first period plus 105 money line. Same play as the Nashville Bruins game, guys. Golden Knights and Canadians like the over. First period both teams to score plus 150 and to get 3 plus 150. And then I think I'm with Pete on this one. First period, Utah. I'm on the money line plus 120. I do think they can even get the goal. I was looking at that too, Pete. I do think they're going to bounce back, but that's going to be the card, guys. I got some golf action on X. You can check me out on Gokster99. It's going to be the Farmers. Pete, you remember Koepka? Koepka's back in the PGA now. He's back, so it's exciting to see one of the live guys get the hell out of there and come back to real golf. So that'll be exciting, guys. Farmers Insurance starts tomorrow. But pleasure as always, Pete. See you next Tuesday, buddy.
Awesome. Mr. Gokster. So great to do a show with you. Oh, man. All right. I'll just stick with my five plays. So the Winnipeg, New Jersey game is interesting. I was leaning under, and now it's got a full half point down. But Nutflush Allen tells us that there might be an offensive fire lit under Winnipeg, maybe as soon as tonight. Of course, Justin McKelvey and others liking goals in Vegas, Montreal. Spreadsheet play of the day from Ron Crawford is San Jose, full game. Huge market move in favor of Chicago, which I agree with. I'm only going to take first period goal with them, though. And I would love to take St. Louis full game as well against Dallas. But, yeah, I'll hold off on that one. And I would love to – the only other leans that I'm not taking are like Utah full game team total over, which would be just 2.5, and the full game over 6, about minus 124 or so on that one. But, yeah, I will hold off on both of those. That just about does it. Jose Bouquett, are you back there?
I am, Pedro. Hello.
All right. Really nice show, right?
Yeah, great. What did you think?
All right. On that note, let's wrap it up because I got to run to do soccer stuff. See y'all next Tuesday.